have a bounce just inside the centre square.
All season, Templestowe have ummed and ahed at what their best combination up forward is, with Simon Grasser being injured and then going overseas. Now they've got their big guns down. They do have the Pig at full forward and Jamie Bain nipping at his heels, so that's going to be a very, very dangerous combination.
Well, Higginson got it away, and then it was Mariani who scooped a handball out wide. The kick goes out towards the wing position, and now the race is on. Templestowe look like they might just have the numbers here, coming in and laying a good pressure bump. There was Miller, brushed over the boundary line by Jack Purcell, right in front of the members faithful out here, and we'll have a boundary throw, and you can hear them already getting into it. It's a tough final. The winner of today's clash to take on Wantirna South next weekend for a chance to get into the grand final. So expect it to be a little bit fiery early in the piece, as the umpire just might send out.
Card's coming out.
Josh Bell.
Yeah, so
well, he came in. He came in just to remonstrate. He wasn't needed in fracas, so he was the one sent off.
Not necessary there by Bell. So Templestowe will have the first chance for them to go forward for the afternoon. So a lot of players are forward of the ball here. Not one player in the forward line currently for Mitcham. One ahead of the centre square, so make things a little bit difficult going forward. So Matty Bain went one way, then the next, then swings inside the 50 on the left foot kick, goes inside on a strong mark. Just judged the flight magnificently was Alistair Quing, the big man, and he'll go back and have the first genuine shot on goal, or the first shot on goal, I should say, from about 45 metres out. Tough angle though as we cross down boundary side, thanks to Lifecare to Ray Baird. As a short pass was on Ray. I'll just cut you off there, mate, because coming out and taking a pretty solid lead there was Anthony Mariani, and we'll cross back down to you now.
Yeah, Josh Bell was the Mitcham player that got yellow carded, boys.
Thank you, Captain Obvious, as Anthony Mariani will have a shot on goal from about 45 metres.
I mean, Templestowe's leading goal kicker in the last, I think, 8 weeks. He's kicked 28 goals, kicking goals from the midfield. He's having a great time in front of the big sticks at the moment.
Well, the crowd will tell the story, won't they? Mariani is usually a very good kick of the football, pushes it to the right-hand side. First minor score of the afternoon, and on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, it is Templestowe leading by that solitary point.
Of course, him and his brother would know this ground very well. BWS spending plenty of years, plenty of games playing senior football for the East Burwood Football Club.
Indeed, they have.
They've been fantastic inclusions into this Templestowe lineup.
So Johnson's got the whole field in front of him from full back. He's got a huddle, and funny enough, with all the numbers at centre half back, he picks out his teammate in Miller on the chest, uncontested, takes the mark, still in his defensive 50, goes sideways to left half back, and slow, steady work. Cross had it in hand. He's kicked to the wing on the bounce to his teammate, who can't keep it in. So it's centre wing out of side as Faulkner saw it over for Mitcham. Templestowe lead by that solitary behind. And now the game is starting to get underway. It's been a heavily contested ball, and a kick is hard to earn. Tap one down by the Mitcham ruck, so it's another fierce contest on the outer side. Kick off the ground, goes forward for Mitcham, but Templestowe are holding up at half-back on the outer side. Now it opens up for the Tigers, get an inside 50. Pim on the lead, he gets onto his knees, just couldn't take it as the ball drops in front of him. So the Templestowe defence bobbles up, flying shot smothered, bounce back for another one from right in front of goals. Mitcham get the first on the board. Petrarca, man on the spot from 30 metres out directly in front. He just read it off the smother and took it for the first goal. Mitcham, one straight kick, 6, leading Templestowe 1 minor score.
Really liked the play of the Mitcham Football Club there. It was really positive and direct. They just kept moving the ball forward, kept pushing numbers towards the ball, and finally at the end of that chain was Rob Petrarca to kick a very nice poachers-like goal. It
was quick entry inside the forward 50 that really put the Templestowe defensive back 6 under all sorts of pressure. Simon Grasser and Adam Prestigiacomo, who both started deep in the goal square and now off the ground. Joel DeCarlo has gone a full forward for Templestowe.
So ball back in the middle here. We've gone 7.5 minutes in this first term. It's a 5-point lead to the Mitcham Tigers. But ball goes up and comes down. They're going to win the clearance too. That was nicely done there by Hogle on the right boot. Drifts the football up towards the half-forward line. It needs to bounce favourably. It did so for Marrow. That was pretty clever in the end. Got it across to Coyle. Sold some candy. Then switched the play. That was a sensational kick. Pimmy was at the back spot, almost in the right place. Lapari will be there, but swinging around, having a pot shot on goal. Are under pressure though, Mitcham, and that's their first blemish of the afternoon. Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 8 minutes gone here in the first term, and it's a 1-goal lead to the Mitcham Tigers. They are 1-1-7. Templestowe are 1 behind.
Love the way Marrow assessed that situation there. We had the 2-on-1 and just got that clever flick over the top, and you know, they were unlucky not to get their second goal there, Mitcham.
So it'll be Bain.
We'll play on a lot today from the kick-in situation.
It's tradition. Mariani made some space. It was a dangerous kick, though. It was chopped off there by Hogel. Broke a tackle. Broke a second tackle on the left foot. He switches it across, and he just couldn't get enough purchase on it. It was a weak kick in the end, and it just drifted through for one behind. So they're peppering the goals, aren't they, the Mitcham side, in the last couple of minutes. Their lead is out to now 7 points, 1-2-8 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Templestowe one behind.
Just because of the structure there was a few, like Pim, just standing on his own. The zone turned into some opportunities, but Hogel misses with a quick snap. The kick to self, kick out now as Templestowe. Uncontested effort, though, drop mark by Quinn. So at half back, it's the Tigers who could load up again. Mariani comes in for a tackle, but it's another tackler when the ball had left the area, and Matt Bain has been penalised for tackling Higginson without the ball. His kick towards Pim. Well, Pim just runs underneath it and allows one of the three waiting Dockers to take the mark in defence in the back pocket. Another short on the bounce, another dangerous effort as it now turns over to Pim. Pim short pass, what a piercing kick and a play-on situation. Goal to Faulkner, who couldn't believe his luck. He nearly got sliced in half, and then he said, I'll go on with it and kick it from 10 metres out for another goal. Mitcham 2-2-14, Templestowe 1 solitary behind.
Rico wanted to be absolutely filthy with that. On 3 separate occasions in the last 2 minutes, the Templestowe Football Club trying to kick it out of defence to stagnant targets, just stabbing at the ball.
Being a bit too cute.
Lazy kicking, and 3 turnovers. All 3 of them could have resulted in direct shots at goal. Eventually there was one that broke the Camel's back, and that's just not great play from the back 6 of the Templestowe Football Club.
First semi-final out at Walker Park today. Scores are level late in the first term after Forest Hill jumping out of the blocks and Park Orchard's been able to steady. So we'll keep you well up to date, fans, right throughout the afternoon of the other final that's happening out at Walker Park. But back here at East Beld, it is Mitcham. We've got the jump here. Mariani got tackled in the middle of the ground. That was looked harsh, but he's a tough nut and he picked himself up pretty quickly there as we've got a restart here. Nicely done by Harris, straight down to Matt Mariani again, who's sports a nice ponytail. His brother's got no hair at all as the kick goes inside forward 50 from Harris out towards the direction of Stevens. He had to be able to trap the football. Right on his hammer out there is Miller, who eventually dives on the football. Stevens laid some pressure as well, and we'll have a bounce across the half-forward line now for Templestowe. Get the feeling they need the next one, Seymour. Yeah,
you think so. You never want to give a side a 3-goal head start, let alone Mitcham, so they'll definitely be pressing here.
4 scoring shots to 1 early in the piece as Mitcham worked themselves out of a phone box to drive a kick up towards the wing position now. It's a high up and under kick, and standing underneath it nicely was the big ruckman, Simon Harris. Wants to move the ball quickly. It was a dangerous kicking towards the middle of the ground. It was intended for Ryan Bain, but he had an opponent there in Marrow going in very hard and earning his own free kick as well. So Mitcham, middle of the ground now. The short passes on. Good play there by the hyphen. Holds Steve Wild to take it out. He's still in the middle of the ground here. The kick will go towards the Pim direction, and that's exactly where it goes. Big fly over the back. Nicely scooped upon there by Matt Bain, but he was ripped down in a fantastic tackle, which was, I don't think it's been rewarded.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah. He took the player on, so it had to be on the ball.
So nice tackle there by Cam Taylor. Bain not happy about that at all. So Mitcham, another chance to put a goal on the board. This kick will be from about 50 metres out, 45-degree angle. So Cameron Taylor, quick to get on with it. Didn't look good off the boot, and it might just scrape in for a behind. No, it won't. It'll go out of bounds on the full. So no change to the scoreboard here. We've gone 12.5 minutes in the first term. 2-2-14 Mitcham. Templestowe, they're yet to score a major. They are 1 behind.
So Taylor also has got the ponytail. As we'll cross down to boundary side for another report.
Templestowe are using their interchange much more prolifically in comparison to Mitcham right now.
So Templestowe keep the ball in hand. The kick out has been marked. They've got another short option as they go to the grandstand side of East Burwood Reserve. Drop mark, and Templestowe got 2 kicks away from the defence. And
that's where it's stopping at the moment for them, unfortunately. Yeah. They just can't get past the half-forward line or the centre wing position.
So Prestigier Como dropped the mark, but goes and wins the tap in the ruck, but they can't win the clearance. It's won by Petrarca. Goes into the middle of the ground where Searle will pick it up. He's got 2 on his hammer, but he's good enough to wheel onto a hand pass. Does nicely to his teammate in Belt. through it, and now the pass there as he ran into a bit of trouble. The brick wall of Templestowe hold up, and they get it from defence, loading up on the outer side for Dakala. Dakala will kick from the outer wing, looking for a teammate at half forward. Nice mark taken on the stretch by Grasser. And a quick play on into the goal square. Flying shot from the right side, 50 metres out, has pierced the middle. Stevens, what a beauty. Quick play on from the outer side. And Stevens, what the most acute angle, nails Templestowe's first goal. They go into 1-1-7, trailing Mitcham 2-2-14.
Really enjoyed the way Templestowe took the game on with that one. They broke the lines instead of stagnant kicking. Great hands by Grasser as well. And assessed the situation so fantastically well. Got the quick hands off and finally ended up with Stevens piercing the middle. Great goal.
Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap match stats.
Mitcham leading the contested possession 17-10 and the inside 50 6-3.
Park Orchards lead by 9 points in the elimination final out at Walker Park as Mariani got the handball away. Bain on the boot inside forward 50. Which way is this one going to go? It didn't suit, and Mitcham had the numbers down back. Kick out now by Purcell. Drives it up towards the wing position. Searle used his body okay, and over the back there, Faulkner picked it up. His handball went into no man's land, but they've got the numbers at the back to support. The kick goes in towards the middle of the ground now. That was okay, but over the top and nicely picked up there by Wilson. Got the handball away to Mariani. He's getting a fair bit of an early handball in turn to Irwin from 50 metres out. Irwin sets sail for goal to the top of the goal square. It's drifting, and eventually will bounce through for one behind. Another minor score on the board. That's Templestowe's second. Bendigo Bank scoreboard at the 15-minute mark of this first quarter. It's a 1-goal difference. Mitcham have the lead.
And you just feel that Templestowe's getting themselves into the game. The long kick out did favour the Tigers, but they have to work it from half-back through hands. They get it out wide to the hyphen. And another short pass works well in the hands of Whitnish. Whitnish goes down the line, but it was too high and up and under. And reading it well was Irwin. Irwin did a nice mark, sat underneath it, got the clip over the head. So it was a mark or free kick. They're quickly playing on from half-back, but they played themselves into trouble by rushing themselves, Templestowe. So the defence of the Tigers holds up. Another short by Whitnish. He gets it back from the wing, trying to hit up a target. There's a lot of purple, but at the fall of the ball, it might be the Tigers in position. And now they've got an open man in the forward line. Uncontested for Hogle, taking the mark 30 metres out. And just when Templestowe had the numbers, they've dropped the mark at the 50-metre mark and allowed the Tigers just to ease it in. And another short pass hit Chris Hogle. And turnovers are costly in this game. So Chris Hogle 30 metres out directly in front to stretch the lead back out to 2 goals. He doesn't miss. Nice steady kick from straight in front. It's now 3-2-20. Mitcham leading Templestowe 1-2-8. So that Templestowe Seymour on the wing there as they rush forward. Templestowe really cost them.
Yeah, it's Darcy Irwin who took the intercept mark and almost as if he was inspired by himself just decided to grab the footy and play on almost instantaneously and just kick it straight back from where it came from. It was a 1-on-4 in favour of Mitcham, picked up by Higginson, off to Whitnish, and they were off and running, and you can't give Mitcham uncontested football going forward.
Credit should go to Anthony Faulkner as well, who was a cool head in a tough situation there and got the pass on forward. Advantage paid, and the kick goes inside forward 50 now towards a Pim direction. He used his body well, the big man. At the fall, the ball, Comedian was there to lay some pressure. It's still a hot football. Good tackle there by Pim. The umpire will eventually come in and bounce it about 25 metres out from goal.
That was too easy coming out of the middle there from Mitcham. Almost a great mark from Pim, who is going to be, I think, too smart in the one-on-ones for Xavier Jeans.
Well, like a cork in the ocean, a kick came out of the stoppage there, but straight across the face of goal. Another behind is registered. Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 17-minute mark, 3-3-21 Mitcham. Templestowe 1-2-8 with the Dockers looking to bring the ball back in again. Told to give a little bit of a rush on now. The kick will go towards the Bain direction. He's the one that's called for it. It's held up a little bit there. Quinn was there at the fall of the ball. So too was the big man Higginson. He's getting his bit of his own football at the moment, the big ruckman Mitcham. Now through Bolter-8. Went one way, then the other, sizes up his options. It was a neat kick in towards the middle of the ground, and it was an absolute ripper 1-2 because look at Braden Cross. He was hot to trot. He brings his one back. That is one of the best goals you will see. Sensational play there by the Mitcham Tigers. Braden Cross kicks his first goal of the afternoon, and they are jumping away a little bit, the Mitcham side, early in this first term. 17.5 minutes gone. It's 4-3-27 Mitcham, 1-2-8 Templestowe. Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap.
Where Mitcham's dominance in the contest, they're leading the contested possessions now 25-13. They're also leading the effective tackles 11-3, so you could say Templestowe not going hard enough currently compared to Mitcham.
They're just playing risky football, Mitcham, and it's paying off. They're playing to switch that ball back in the middle of the ground. I mean, a game of inches, Alistair Quinn could have easily have chopped that off, and it could have been a scoring opportunity the other way.
Higginson's getting on top, and Mitcham probably smell blood, but this time the centre clearance goes the way of Templestowe. Mark not paid, it must have been touched, but over the shoulder goes the way of the Dockers, so they'll have a shot at goal through Prestigiacomo, should I say, 50 metres out directly in front. Looked like he took it on the chest, but the tackle coming over the top, so this will test his kicking ability. 50 metres out, hangs it out to the right, and it never comes back.
Distance not an issue, though, at all.
No, clear that easily.
That was a beauty in terms of distance, but a minor score. Templestowe 1-3-9, trailing Mitcham 4-3-27.
So Johnson will go short.
Dude, the kickouts are easy for them, aren't
they? Far too much space there, right in the middle of the ground.
So Petrarca on the right boot. Drives the ball out wide. It was a nice little fist away there by Mariani, I think it was, that came in late over the handball over the top. It's right near that boundary line, picked up there by Lipari. He had 3 Tigers to beat there. They're right on his hammer. Almost getting in the back there was Taylor, and the umpire did see it.
Yep.
So the free kick will go to Matt Lipari.
You're spot on, Gav. There's troubles already for Templestowe. I mean, 3 effective kick-ins from Mitcham now already, and Templestowe haven't looked like chopping it off at all.
Stavropoulos in the middle of the ground. It's a good-looking kick into the middle. It was a risky one. They needed to take the mark, which they did. And now Mitcham get the chance to go forward. A thumping kick towards the Pim direction. Stand strong. The umpire said it was play on, so he gave a little handball away. Faulkner dribbles the ball. Which way's this one going to go? Straight through the middle. He's having a ripper term, Faulkner. That's his second. That is Mitcham's 5th, and we've only played 20 minutes in this first term, and they are on top. There's no doubt about that. Bendigo Bank scoreboard 5-3-33. The Tigers, the Dockers, they're 4 goals behind now. There's a long way to come back early in this game. 1-3-9.
I'm not going to say it's the difference between the way the teams are going inside 50. Templestowe, just plain and simply, are barely going inside 50. And when Mitcham are going in, there was Pim in another one-on-one. Took the mark. Unfortunately, the Templestowe defender got first hands to it, but there's just enough space for him to have his own room to move in and pick the ball up and then dish it off and organise a goal for his side.
Higginson won the tap, so it's gone forward for Mitcham to centre forward. Now Cross has got it centre forward, 50 metres out. We know what a great boot he's got on him. Gets it to the line, but the defence comes in. Free kick paid for the heaviness of the shepherd by Pim, or tried to be shepherd. So
great courage by Jeans there. He was running with the flight of the ball and got the decisive fist on it, which would have resulted in a point, but earned the free kick. So great play there by Jeans.
So Xavier Jeans has got it. His kick, he's like he spotted up the opposition deliberately, because there was really no purple in the middle of the 50-metre arc. So only 30 metres out. It's Chris Hogle who's got the ball.
The difference with both these sides at the moment is they're both trying to play direct football through the middle of the ground, but it's simply the skills of Templestowe that is letting them down. Their execution has just been poor, and it's just been giving so much supply for the Mitcham forwards and midfield to indeed get some shots on goal.
Jaden Hogle, this one is.
So it is, Jaden Hogle. Will be kicking from straight in front, 30 metres out, but he doesn't do as well as Chris, and he pushes it out to the right for a minor score. It's now 25 points the difference, Mitcham's lead.
Quarter time in the big final out at Walker Park. Park Orchards lead by 4 points, 3-5-23, Forest Hill 3-1-19. And we'll keep you right up to date. Thank you, Frosty Baird, for keeping us informed throughout the afternoon as Templestowe, they're already starting to take some chances, aren't they? As Wilson is the target down on the wing position at the back of the pack there. Couldn't take quite the mark there with Stevens, but the ball sloots up nicely there. Which way is this one going to go?
Well done.
Charging through there was Mariani. Couldn't quite pick the ball up. Bolterate did well there. Got the handball away to Bell, who's allowed back on the ground now. Got it to Searle, back to Bell, and now the Tigers are away. The kick was sensational up to centre half forward. He spotted up the target brilliantly. He was under pressure too along that wing position, running at full kilter. And once again, Mitcham will have another shot on goal. They are completely dominating. And speaking of dominating, it is the man of the moment, Anthony Faulkner, who will have this shot on goal. He's already kicked 2 goals in this first term.
Just not clean, Templestowe. Right out here in front of us, had Dakala and Mariani an overlap in a 2-on-1, and they just gave the ball straight back because they couldn't pick it up.
So Faulkner will come in. He'll kick from just outside the 50. He pushed for distance. Which way is this one going to fall? It hasn't made the distance. Down there is Pim. His ball scoots out, and eventually it's rushed through by Seppi. He wanted the safety of the rush behind, and he got that. Bendigo Bank scoreboard 23 3.5 minutes gone in this first term. 5-5-35, Mitcham 1-3-9, Templestowe.
Can we talk about Bell's kick across the body?
How about that? But his pace as well. He was at full flight, got the 1-2, and then, yeah, just, again, assessing the options so well and execution to perfection.
And the kick seems to suit Mitcham when they kick it out, but the numbers this time favour the Dockers under a heap of pressure. So Higginson will go after it. Bumped over the ball by Prestigiacomo, who comes in with the tackle after the bump. So there's a bit of toughness that Templestowe need. They need to get in amongst it.
That's one thing you're going to get from Adam Prestigiacomo. Of course, the younger brother of former Collingwood player Simon. He's going to be just completely and 100% just aggressive at the football.
Taken high after he sharked his own ruck duties. So he kicks inboard, finds Bain. It's Ryan Bain on half-back, goes into the centre corridor, dangerous but can be maximum returns. But they've slowed up with Stavropoulos got it. He has to steady and look for a long 2v4. The 4 favours Mitcham. Was that a fair marking contest? But anyway, it falls into hands with Johnson. And the kick was rushed. I don't know if he realised that he probably had time to assess all options. And the kick by Andretti has gone down the full.
Jamie Bain is a left footer. He was sniffing around that footy. He's going to take the responsibility upon himself.
Left side for a left footer. He's looking inboard, but there really isn't any room for that. So he's going to have to bend it with the check side. Not enough check on the side. And another minor score as it goes too far right. I don't know if that's the best commentary of it, but we'll go with it. It's 1-4-10. That is Templestowe trailing Mitcham 5-5-35 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
This is where it's important for Templestowe now. They've just they've forced a Mitcham error that could be a little momentum shifter. They've just got to lock this football in.
Johnson, well, it was a risky kick, but they've got the numbers at the back, and now Andretta's going to be able to get the handball away. He tried to link up with Searle, but he was taken off the football, and he'll receive a free kick, David Searle, and a 25-metre penalty to boot as well. That was unnecessary to kick the ball inside 50. We all heard the whistle, so a bit of a gift there for Mitcham, but one they deserved as they'll move themselves up towards the half-forward line now. But
it slowed them down at least. Templestowe should be able to get back.
So Andretta, handball across to Bell, who's swing around on the right boot now. Neat looking kick up towards the half-forward line. It was a good one too, as Petrarca takes the mark and
you've got to laugh.
Just gives the old don't argue. He certainly is a tank of a footballer.
He just hanged around to push him around, didn't he, after he marked it?
Robbie Petrarca, he squeezed a kick up perfectly, and it just didn't pay off in the end. Picked up by Taylor on the left boot, goes inside forward 50. Oh, it was good. They're doing this well, Mitcham. They're cool under pressure at the moment, Seymour.
And they're happy to go sideways with the football, whereas Templestowe seem to be a little bit more one-dimensional and just going in the straight line. So they're picking the football around a bit, and they're finding some space.
So I'm not too sure if the distance will push them here as the kick goes in towards the forward pocket and nicely chopped off in the last line of defence. So Templestowe, they'll get a reprieve here as through Wilson. I think it was Bain, in fact, as gets it across to Mariani. And Mariani on the right boot. Just need to use the clean disposal. Bain.
A smart player here by the Templestowe Football Club, just slowing down, just getting some consistent possession. It's really needed at this point in time.
Oh, man.
Bain switches the play to Prestigiacomo, and that was okay. They've got the players down the wing if they can just spot up. Van Kerkhoff is down there. He judged the ball beautifully. Takes off now on the right boot, kicks the ball up towards the half-forward line where the Grasser comes out. Got knocked away from him. That was good play by Johnson, and he's got the turn of foot to go after and pick up his own football. Rode a tackle too, handball over the top. He was looking for Searle. He has a little bit of time. He was told by his teammates that was good talk. Kick up towards the wing position, wasn't too crash shot. A big fly over the back, and a solid mark has been taken out there by Paul Fiorenza. So true centre wing position. Member side here of East Beld Reserve. They need a goal, Templestowe. 25 points down they are at the moment. Short passes on. Prestigiacomo played for a 25. He might just get it here. And he did get it. So
milked that for all it was worth.
A little bit cheeky touch with that one, but the umpires are here to set the rules out there. And
didn't reckon he knew who was on the mark.
Yeah, well, Petrarca. Now Prestigiacomo, this would be a perfect kick. It's coming back, and that is how you make them pay for undisciplined work. Fantastic stuff there by Templestowe. Prestigiacomo gets his first goal of the afternoon. That's Templestowe's second, and very handy one too. They're still trailing by 19 points on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
There's the shining light for Templestowe in the first quarter. Adam Prestigiacomo, he started the game at centre half forward, had a quick breather, and then has gone back into the ruck and is playing as a fifth on baller, and his aggression around the football is just fantastic.
Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Lifecare to Ray Baird.
A great goal to Presti, but made an Academy Award for the acting as well.
So an interesting matchup now with Prestigiacomo and Beltrate. Now Prestigiacomo gets onto the ball from the back of the square, starting on the wing there. But here's his hand pass, goes straight to his opposite number on the the side wing. Now Mitcham being held up without the ball, so it'll be free kick 60 metres out from goals. It's in the hands of Hogle. Jaden Hogle looking for options. They've been good going in the forward line. Well, he's passed, well, it's shanked off, and unfortunately might have to come in for a tackle. And another big effort here from Petrarca, just gets the hand pass forward, hoping for Faulkner with 2 goals to get it going into the forward line. At the foot of the ball after the contest was Templestowe's Lipari. Now it's a fight for the ball. Hand pass into the goal square by Mitcham doesn't come to fruition yet. The turnover kick might work out to Petrarca from 40 metres out, loads up on the right pocket and misses everything, but gets a free kick. Push after he kicked it. And they really want to get into Petrarca to test his will and nerve. And this time it's going to go against Templestowe. But where will the kick be taken? From the left pocket or where?
I think it's going to be downfield, yeah.
It's going to be down the field, but I'm not sure. If that went out on the full, it'll be back from where Petrarca was dealt with. But I think it might have just pitched inside. So
anyway, here's a short pass on. They're not paying attention.
No, the umpire's coming back to where Petrarca took his kick from, about 45 metres out in a 45-degree angle.
Let's cross down boundary side. Thanks to Lifecare to Ray.
Those supporters of each club are really getting behind it, getting very vocal down here.
So Robbie Petrarca draws attention purely because he gives some, and he's a very fine player. He's got everything in his repertoire.
This could be the even or upperer.
So from 35 to 40 metres out, right pocket, difficult angle. He'll probably put it on the right post and curl it around. He does try from right to left, but it never comes back to the centre and actually misses all scores. So it's out on the full on the right pocket. Score does not change. Mitcham leading 35, plays 16. And what's a time update we got going, boys?
29-minute mark.
So not long to go in this first term of the qualifying final.
So Jordan Seppi from the back pocket.
Another let off there by Mitcham.
On the left boot. He winds up. He'll kick it towards the Harris direction. The big man was the man that flew up in the end. It came down to ground. Jaden Hogle was in there. Couldn't quite pick up the football in there too. His Vankerkoff. He couldn't pick the ball up. He almost copped one high for his troubles. But the umpire said it was fair, and it's just going to be balled up just inside the boundary line, about 55 metres out from the Mitcham goal line. Can they snag another one? Currently leading this one by 19 points. It's a fiery opening term. We hope you're enjoying the football as you go local for it, or tuning in on 98.1 Radio Eastern and streaming live on EFL.org.au. As you heard Andy in the background, a free kick with Templestowe.
Fiorenza, the former Whitehorse pioneer and ex-Kerry grammarian.
Came across with Quinn. Kick up towards the wing position. Big fly at the front there by Melder. Been relatively quiet so far. Handball by Stevens was good. On the left boot, they drive the ball up towards the wing position.
Over there.
Umpire throws the ball up now. Well, nicely done and scooped upon. Can Stevens put this through? That's how you do it as a big man. Just gave the old don't argue, created himself a little bit of space, snapped it over his shoulder and threw for a goal. So Templestowe just clawing themselves back towards quarter time here. The margin is back to only 13 points on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Mitcham by 5, 35. Templestowe 3-4, 22.
I was just about to make the point that there was far too much men around that stoppage from a Templestowe point of view in their forward line. As it turned out, Matty Stevens was good enough to make some space for himself, but I think they just need to work a little bit harder around the stoppage, just to put less bodies, less number, and just get an uncontested situation going so they can move the ball forward.
I think that had more to do with Mitcham putting men back, though, trying to prevent that third goal.
Marioni sharks the tap. He gets taken over the shoulder. The umpire calls the advantage, which didn't turn into advantage. Turnover in the middle. Mitcham through to Pim. Pim holding against. So I reckon that's a Templestowe free kick deep in their attack as Marioni decided to wander as he got taken high, and the umpire said play on, then tackled and dropped the ball.
He certainly wanted to go on with it. It was his own mistake that cost the turnover.
And that is quarter time here at East Burwood Reserve. Mitcham leading the qualifying final 5-5, 35, and Templestowe 3-4, 22.
2 goals to Anthony Faulkner for the Mitcham side, as long with 2 goals to Matty Stevens for Templestowe. We hope you're enjoying the broadcast as you go local for your football this afternoon, anywhere across the east, or whether you're in your car or at home. We're bringing you all the scores live out here from East Burwood Reserve, and of course the big final out at Walker Park, which will be able to bring you an up-to-date score. They're in the second quarter out there. Right after these messages on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Are you feeling like your man space needs something special? Club rooms need a little something behind the bar? Just want to spoil yourself and show off to your mates? Authentic Autographs is Australia's largest licensed and authentic memorabilia dealer across all sports. With a range second to none, Authentic Autographs is a one-stop shop for all your memorabilia needs. If there's an empty space on your pool room wall, or you feel your man cave needs something special, contact David on 0439 743 710 or visit the showroom at 11 to 15 Westwood Drive, Deer Park.
How would you like your coffin, Tom?
I like it covered with farewell messages from all my friends and family.
Can I get a picture of a beautiful sunset over the 12 apostles?
Make mine look like a smartphone.
I'd like black with a yellow sash and the words to the team song as well.
Totally is possible, including a custom-designed and decorated coffin to celebrate your life. To find out more, visit tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
Own a smartphone and love the Eastern Football League? Then the EFL mobile web app is a must for you. Go to m.efl.org.au to access fixtures, results and ladders for all EFL grades. You can also receive live around-the-ground scores every Saturday afternoon right from the palm of your hand. And contribute to the mighty EFL forum while you're online. Download the EFL mobile web app to go live and local for your footy this season right from the palm of your hand.
What was wrong with you blokes yesterday? You were playing like you'd been stuck in traffic for an hour before getting to the game.
Coach, there was a railway crossing gate down for ages.
The other mob flashed us. You ran out of legs.
They all have breeze tags, Coach. They use Eastlink. They get to focus on the match rather than focus on inching forward in the traffic.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's east. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
Program sponsor.
Yes, welcome back to the studios on EFL Gameday. My name is Dyson Baker, sitting back in the studios of the Croydon Royal Health Centre. Make sure you keep up to date with all the scores from both games going on this afternoon. The Tuesday Tap finals, we've got the first semi-final between Park Orchards and Forest Hill going on out at Mitcham, Walker Park in Mitcham, and also Eastfield Reserve, as we know in the radio game, is hosting the qualifying final between Mitcham and Templestowe. Just a couple of update scores coming through from the AFL. Fremantle Dockers 1964 lead Brisbane 2-7-19, and that's 10 minutes into the third term of that one in the AFL. Make sure you snap your way to the 2014 Shoes Tap Grand Final. Social media has become a massive part of the Eastern Football League in recent years, and this year you could also win a double pass to the Eastern Football League Grand Final of your choice. Simply head to one of the 6 Shoes Tap Final venues in the coming weeks, take a snap, upload it to either Twitter or Instagram using the handle @FootyAFL. The best photo each week will win a double pass to the Eastern Football League Shoes Tap Grand Final of their choice. So make sure you get around social media. Plenty of score updates coming through. We'll keep you up to date with all of that and plenty more coming here, right here on 98.1 EFL Gameday. We'll head back to East Berwick right after this.
Are you feeling like your man space needs something special? Club rooms need a little something behind the bar? Just want to spoil yourself and show off to your mates? Authentic Autographs is Australia's largest licensed and authentic memorabilia dealer across all sports. With a range second to none, Authentic Autographs is a one-stop shop for all your memorabilia needs. If there's an empty space on your pool room wall, or you feel your man cave needs something special, contact David on 0439 743 710 or visit the showroom at 11 to 15 Westwood Drive, Deer Park.
Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Yes, going local for our footy, we certainly are. Welcome back to the East Burwood Reserve Ram Stadium. It is the Division 3 Shoes Tap qualifying final. Mitcham currently have a 13-point advantage over the Templestowe Dockers at quarter time. Grant Soupy Campbell, thanks to Shoes Tap, what were the stats that mattered in the first term?
The only area Templestowe was on top was in clearances, winning at 11-9. Mitcham having 9 more kicks, 8 more handballs, 8 more contested possessions, 9 more uncontested possessions. They won the inside 50s 16-11, had 5 marks inside 50 to 2, and effective tackle count was 17-6 in favour of Mitcham.
Let's cross down boundary side. Thanks to Lifecare, Ray Bairds with a guest.
Not a bad first quarter for you, Scotty, but there's still a little bit of improvement to do. You're happy the way the ball was going into the forward 50?
Oh, look, we got plenty of options. We took it inside 50 a few times, but we probably didn't go corridor as much as we would have liked. Our forwards let a bit wide, and we just spoke about that then. So, yeah, plenty of opportunities going forward, just to make most of them.
In the second quarter, they're obviously going to come back and throw everything at you, so the boys will be prepared for that.
Yeah, no, definitely. We just spoke then that they'll be thinking that we'll take the foot off the gas now, but we've just got to go to another level with the intensity, another level with the pressure. So that should be red hot this quarter.
Thanks for your time, Scott.
Thank you very much, Ray Baird, with Scott Homewood, the senior coach of the Mitcham Football Club.
Updated score from Walker Park. Park Orchard's doing it all in the second term. 3 quick goals in a row to lead currently by 4 goals against Forest Hill halfway through the second term.
Oh, there you go. Very interesting. We'll certainly keep our eyes on that all afternoon. It still is a 13 points in Mitcham here as we're about to get underway in the second quarter. Andy Paolacci, Templestowe certainly settled in the last 5 or so minutes of the first term, though.
Yeah, I felt like after they kicked their first goal, the nerves started to settle a little bit. And the thing I like about Templestowe is they are taking the game on. They're playing that direct football. Skills have let them down a little bit, but to be honest, only being 13 points down at quarter time, I think what actually ended up being a bit of a win for them. I think they've just got to keep back in what they've set in place for this game. Keep, obviously taking the game on, and I'm sure they'll get there.
I think their structure's become super important. They sort of lost their way structurally a little bit there, but they straightened themselves up late in that last...
I think they started off nervously.
Yeah, they did. They didn't handle the situation well at all, and Mitcham took full advantage, but they've come back into this game.
It was the old story of just errors by hand and by foot cost them dearly, and they worked themselves back into it. So the last 10 minutes of the first quarter is probably... they're on an even ledger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ryan Bain's been moved into the middle for Templestowe, so that should be interesting. They're getting their experience in the middle.
So Gav Casey to take us away with the second quarter qualifying final.
Higginson wins the tap for Mitcham at ground level. It's Mariani fighting for it, but again it's picked up by Higginson. Goes forward to the Burwood Highway end. Pym tries to shepherd his way, but he allows his teammate to come in and quick it around the corner. Kick it around the corner and hits the post as Hogle had time and no one in front of him.
Boundary.
Let's cross down boundary side. Thanks to Lifecare, to Alysia.
Hey guys, I'll just let you know what they said at the Templestowe huddle at quarter time. They were saying there was no communication. They really got to find their voice because in their endeavours they're just turning it over, and Mitcham are capitalising because they're just a quality side.
So playing it to himself there, Paul Fiorenza. Drove the ball out towards the half-back line. Over the back there, Bain judged the football okay then. Little handball over the top to Mariani, who'll link up well there with Cheppy on the left boot now. Oh, he spent it before he actually had a chance to. Handball over the top. He had a quick recovery there. That was good. Lapari over the top of his head. Eventually received the handball through a series of handballs. Now they're putting themselves under a lot of pressure. Bain came through. He was wrapped up in a tackle, was Ryan, and we'll have a bounce just outside the centre square, far side of the ground.
They mucked around with it a bit there, but you can see the endeavours there, the willingness to get in and block for your teammates and work hard for them. I think they've come out and switched on now, the Dockers.
Well, Higginson went up uncontested there in the end and won his own football, booted up towards the half-forward line, but Templestowe were able to get the kick away. Now it's Irwin on the right boot, inside forward 50 for the Tigers. That was Purcell, I should say. Snap around the body, goes a Rye and through for another behind. So as they started off in the first term, in the second term they have kicked 2 quick behinds. That was Petrarca to slam that on his boot. And thank you very much, Gav.
Sorry, I pointed the wrong one for you.
Unbelievable. We could have just let that one slide through to the keeper, but you would not give up, would you? On the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 3 minutes in this second term, 5-7-37 Mitcham, Templestowe 3-4-22.
It's in the book now. So the kick out is long and to the left back flank. Templestowe, though, couldn't get it as Higginson comes the roving for Mitcham, but he sees it over the line, boundary 55 metres out.
It's time for Alex Wadsworth for Templestowe to, for want of a better term, extract the digit, start having an impact on this game. Alex, you're a Division 2 finals player for the Mooroolbark Football Club. You're a seriously good senior footballer. Hasn't had an impact in the first quarter and a bit here.
Higginson took it out of the ruck, but his kick was smothered, but the turnover again in the middle of the ground. It's Belcherate. Scott it, gets inside 50, Pym gets underneath it, positions himself, 1 grab, not 2, ground level, Faulkner, he's a poacher's best, but he's got 2 this time though. It's Templestowe working the numbers, now in half back, Mariani's got it, so Anthony Mariani takes a bounce, runs, tries to get an overlapping hand pass to Bain, Bain gets taken too high, lucky because the hand pass was no good. And now quickly playing on is Matt Bain.
Well done.
Runs towards 55, puts it on the boot, tries to go all the way. Mark uncontested in the goal square. Good body work and positioning. And Templestowe from 10 metres out have got it through Grasser.
The pig, Simon Grasser, he was real good there in a one-on-one again. Far too strong for Johnson. Just shrugged him aside with one hand, stuck the mitts up, and he clunked an absolute ripper. If they go in high and long and quick like that, the piggy will cause some problems. So
Grasser, it's 15 points the difference, but he looks to close it to 9 and put Templestowe back in this contest, and he does so. It's 4-4-28 Templestowe, trailing Mitcham 5-7-37. Early days, second term on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Really like the way Templestowe continue to keep backing themselves. You know, again, turnovers have been letting them down, but they continue to play the same brand of football. They believe in what they are playing, and it's starting to come to fruition for them. And
they've got a little bit of a thing going this year at the Templestowe Footy Club where they do try and get goals from the back six. It was Matty Bain that snuck forward on that occasion and ended up, maybe he was having a shot on goal, ended up in the hands of Grasser, but they will try and architect some scores from their players in the back six.
Let's get some stats that matter with Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap.
Bit early in the quarter, but 3-1 inside 50s to Mitcham.
Thank you very much. I'll be the judge of that as the ball comes back into the middle of the ground. Searle on the right boot, switches it out wide. That was okay. Braden Cross on the right boot, kicks it up towards the half-forward line. Coming out and taking a mark is Petrarca. So he's hugged right up against the boundary, 55 out. You'd expect him to kick it to the hot spot here. It's a good kick towards Faulkner in the back of the pack. He just judged it magnificently, and he's on fire, isn't he, early in this game? And he'll have a shot on goal for his third from about 35 metres out directly in front.
Well, it's exactly what Mitcham's coach said that they wanted. They wanted the ball to be squared up in the middle, so they'd be having shots on goal from directly in front, and that's exactly what they've done. Tell you what, Anthony Faulkner, a bit of the Warwick Kappa special there, just a bit of the hands in the back and just for a bit of leverage, and what a mark.
Playing a handy decoy this afternoon. 35 metres out, directly in front, leans over the football, pushes it to the left-hand side. It was an absolute shocker off the boot. Only scraped through for one behind in the end, almost on the full. And Bendigo Bank scoreboard at the 6-minute mark of this second term. It is Mitcham 5-8-38, I should say. Templestowe 4-4-28.
The last 4 set shots from Mitcham, 2 from Faulkner, 1 from Petrarca, and 1 from Jaden Hogle. These are uncontested shots on goal.
Faulkner just takes it from the kick-in and take 2, slam it over the goal umpire's head. So now he has his third. He wasn't making a mistake with that one. They're letting themselves down on these kickings at Templestowe Football Club, and an easy goal for the Mitcham side as they move to, on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 6-8-44. Templestowe 4-4-28.
I've got to say, Mitcham still have plenty of upside. I don't think we've seen much out of, Julian Petrarca, Boltrawait, for example. Pim hasn't exactly been in the game either. So, look, there's plenty of upside for Mitcham, and I think, if they can get these players involved, they could definitely extend on this margin.
Park Orchards have kicked 7 out of the last 8 goals to lead by 29 points late in the second term out at Walker Park against Forest Hill.
Ball back in the middle. Mitcham win the centre clearance. They go to centre forward, but dropping back nicely to take the mark is Quinn. Quinn goes to the grandstand side. Drop mark by Bain. Good enough to take on. He's taken a tackle! And he's been pinged. Marrow's got it. Quick play on Portrait. Now the short kick. By Hogle. They made that pay. You don't take on the Tigers in their forward line as Hogle gets on the board, and goal number 6. So that is second goal for Chris Hogle. He moves them on to 8-8-56. Templestowe are 4-4-28.
What was Matty Bain thinking? There was a 3-on-1 situation there. He just had to sink the ball in onto the boot, and he just didn't do it. And Mitcham, ferocious tackling, and what a goal in the end there by Chris Hogle.
Yeah, they played the advantage very well then. They haven't kicked their 8th goal just yet, Gav. They're still 7-8-50, so 22 points is the margin. Let's restart this game back in the middle of the ground. Can Mitcham get another clearance? It was a good tackle down there by Lipari, I think that was, or Decala, I should say, and we'll have a bounce right in the heart here.
I think we've got a free kick to Mariani.
Yeah, I think it's going to Jackson Irwin. On the left boot now, kicks it up towards half forward. It had to be centimetre perfect, and that's exactly what it was. That was fantastic. So Darcy takes the mark. Darcy Irwin, I should say. So brother to brother, they would have done that a few times over the years. He might just back himself from here, Darcy Irwin. They need a steadier.
needs to put on the right
about
post, doesn't he?
55 metres out.
Yeah.
He's going short. He just sized
Well
up the
done.
options, and a beautiful play there by Mariani just to make the space, and he's a wide unit and he weren't going to get past him, and he takes the mark. He'll kick from about 50 metres or just inside, but he squared up the angle nicely.
Got to kick it. I mean, the last two Mitcham goals have come from horrible, horrible Templestowe errors. The turnover from the kick in, that terrible holding the ball decision that went against Matty Bain, who was trying to do something that wasn't on. Templestowe had to work hard for their goals, and they really just have to make the most of every single opportunity. Well,
Anthony Mariani, he can certainly roost to football. He starts a very long run up inside the centre square, now kicks from outside 50, drifting, touched on the line and through for one behind. So Templestowe on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard moved to 4 goals, 5-29, trailing Mitcham by 21 points, who are 7-8-50.
So just only moments ago, Templestowe fought their way back to close the gap to 8 points, but now it's back out to 21. It's in the hands of Johnson for the Tigers. Just goes long and direct down the middle. Who does it suit? It's Templestowe at the back of the pack. Now the centre of the ground. They're having trouble picking up the ball, allows the Tigers to come in and tackle, and it's been held up. So the kick out was quite good in the end. Just didn't fall for Templestowe.
Just fighting for it with each other. Joel DeCarla and the South Australian, Matty Lipari.
Tap one down by the ruckman for Harris for Templestowe. No clear possession. The quick dribbler kick out of the pack suits Bain. Ryan Bain from half back goes to half forward, but indiscriminate. It's all Tigers on the outer side. And now the big opportunity for Bell to get it to half forward. He does nicely, coils underneath it, drops it just when he was going to run inside 50, and it's out of bounds.
Right on cue, was just about to mention Bo Coyle. I think that's the first time you've called his name this afternoon. A former Oakley Charger who was awesome in front of goal against Wantirna South about a month ago. He hasn't had a say yet this afternoon.
So 55 metres around from goal. Pym doing the ruck duties, does get into a good position, but it's been sharked by Quinn. He got tackled, taken off at Mariani, comes in. He's taken on all tacklers and he's been penalised. So a turnover for Coyle. Looks, he's got an inboard. He's got Halston Wild in the middle. He ignores him for now.
Faulkner's by himself.
Hand pass to a runner. Spearing pass will suit the Tigers. And a mark taken by Hogle. And a push after he marked it. So it's a gimme goal now. 25 metres will help.
What's he meant to do in the contest?
Hogle.
He's already in the air when he's trying to spoil that. I think that's a bit harsh by the umpire.
A second 25 makes it to the goal line.
That was a Monty to happen with the amount of mouthing off. They need to just cool their heads and get over it and get their brains back on the game.
Yeah, absolutely right. That's once the discipline starts creeping in. I must admit it was a little bit stiff, the 25-metre penalty, but you've just got to move on.
Yeah, that's it.
You've just got to accept the umpire's decision and move on.
So Jaden Hogle has been spent a minute showing the ball to his opposition. Now he kicks it over the goal umpire's head, and that is goal number.
To the Burvale Hotel.
That is goal number 8. Mitcham are 8-8-56. Templestowe are 4-5-29, and all of a sudden it's a 27-point lead for the Tigers. Soupy, what do you got for us in the stats?
Inside 50s this quarter, 6-2 in favour of Mitcham, and they're dominant out of the clearances, winning that 7-1. So Mitcham have scored from 16 out of their 22 inside 50s, so this Templestowe defence not living up to its reputation.
Great stuff, Soupy. Thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats. Yarra Valley Water, it is delicious. Just waiting for the ball to come back into the middle of the ground.
Tell you what, I need some Yarra Valley water after the night I had last night.
Well, we're only stuck with it today because Dyson drank all the soft drink at home throughout the week. So the ball's back in the middle of the ground. Our quota's been done for the year, I've been told.
Paul Fiorenzo, quality footballer. He dominates games from a high half-forward position. He's very much out of his comfort zone at full-back on Jaden Hogle at the moment.
Well, Harris got the knockdown to Mariani. That was Matt who copped one high for his trouble, so he'll go back and send the ball forward now for the Dockers as the kick goes inside forward 50, looking for the Grasser direction. It was nicely knocked away there by Taylor, but running onto the football, get pretty dangerous looking there was Jesse Wilson. He was the quickest player in the situation and rushed over the boundary line and out of bounds.
He's probably, for pace, by foot is probably the Templestowe Football Club's quickest player at the moment, the former bullying Templestowe amateur.
So the ball's been thrown back in, about 50 metres out from Templestowe's goal line, but a thumping kick to draw the ball out towards the half-forward line for Mitcham, goes up towards the Pym direction, almost got in the back of Fiorenzo. The umpire said it was okay, in came Hogle. Jaden, he spent it before he had it, went after it again, got a little handball away, that was okay. It's a hot football across the half-forward line for Mitcham. They might get advantage here. Instead it will be a free kick through to Templestowe. Cross down boundary side, thanks to Lifecare, to Alysia.
Jackson Irwin for Templestowe has just come off, clutching his ribs. He's gone into the room to just be assessed.
Thank you very much. There's a short pass there goes from Quinn into the middle of the ground. Now the kick inside forward 50, looking for Grasser. Irwin's at the back there. He takes off. This is Jesse Wilson. Broke a tackle, slammed it on his boot. Which way is this one to go? It went as high as it did long. It sits up. There might be a free kick off the play here. It was against Grasser that time, and Mitcham get the reprieve out towards the wing position. Bouncing football. Andretta's going to be the first player out there. He's got the big man in Harris to contend with. That was good play. Knocked over the boundary line underneath the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and we'll have a boundary throw in. 15 minutes gone here in the second term. 8-8-56 are the Mitcham Tigers. Templestowe are 4-5-29.
Boundary throw in centre outer wing of Eastfield Reserve. Templestowe are under a lot of pressure here as Mitcham load up again to half forward. Getting underneath it was Comedian, so it allows the Tigers to rove it, and deep in the pocket, last line. Good mark taken by Fiorenza, who's on Hogle. He's got to mind him and maybe start some run. He's got a short on. It's a short that's too long. No, just good enough. And the mark's been taken by Lipari. Lipari's got another short. They're not yet outside 50, but the run will start from centre half back. Long kick by Serpi. Gets it inside 50. There's Grasser handing it on to a teammate who can't bust the tackle.
Silly
and that's a great bit of a push in the back in the end. Too much by Purcell. And the throw of the ball didn't get back to...
Could have been 25 there. Wasn't given back to him on the full.
So Vankichov gets it from centre half forwards. He hands it over to a teammate to try to get the journey. Rodsworth runs in, board, centre corridor, nice pass, 30 metres out.
He's lucky that came off. You don't handball to a ruckman. Alex Wadsworth is 6'6". Why would you handball to a ruckman standing still? It doesn't matter. It's going to work. Darcy Irwin is a quality, cool customer in front of goal, the former Druin Hawk and Casey Scorpion.
So Darcy Irwin looks to get his first goal on the board. It's much needed. A gap's just been established in this second term, straight through the middle. Templestowe are 5-5-35. The margin is back to 21 points. Mitcham 8-8-56.
Steadying goal by Kay Magamez for Forest Hill, reducing the margin back to 20 points for Forest Hill. So Park Orchard still holding that lead. So a 20-point lead at Walker Park, 21-point lead out at Eastfield Reserve, which is where we are, and Mitcham have that lead. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on 98.1 Radio Eastern or streaming the game live on efl.org.au. It's great to have Sunday football back in the Eastern Football League as we restart this match once again. Harris got the knockdown. That was good. Picked up by Jamie Bain. Slammed it on his boot inside forward 50. Big fly over the top that time. And it came out towards the Prestigia Como direction. Couldn't quite overrun the football. Here came Ken Taylor. He went in there as well, going in hard. Matt Lipari, he just wanted to hold the football up, and he did so. The
clearance from Jamie Bain. He's finally moved out of the forward pocket and onto the ball. This man would walk into a Division 1 midfield. He's a silky smooth mover. Watch for some dominance from Jamie Bain out of the middle.
So the kick goes inside forward 50, but chopped off. So Mitcham will get the chance to set themselves up from the back line once again. The kick into the middle of the ground, looking for Hogle. Copped one, got chopped in the end. The umpire said it was a free kick and a dangerous looking kick. It was nicely chopped off there by Fiorenza. He's having a pretty good game so far. Coming out far wide is the Grass. He did it off one step. He almost fell over the big man as he kicked it up towards Mariani, who saw the ball over the boundary line and out of bounds.
It's the same again. It's just the skill of the Templestowe players. You know, just skills, just letting him down. And I reckon they could be a lot closer in this game if they do clean that up.
It's a fast-paced game of football. I'm certainly enjoying it. I hope you are too. Kmart comes out now. Darcy Irwin slams it on his boot. A drifting football sees it bounce away from Joel DeCarla over the boundary line and out of bounds for a boundary throw in. So Templestowe trailing by 21 points.
Look at just all the players just stream across the one half of the ground. No one on the fat side here.
Stevens, well, the ball fell short in the end. Mariani laid a tackle. Prestigia Como got the handball away, but it was picked up by Petrarca, who got it out of the danger zone into towards the middle of the ground. Comedian got a fist on it, and it worked out okay. Lipari, handball over the top towards the Comedian direction, over the top of his head as well. Came in Bankoff. He copped one high from Braden Cross. The umpire said it was fair, and holding the ball is the decision. Cross is hot to trot, picks it up, goes up towards the half-forward line. They've got players everywhere. Coyle got the little handball one way, then the other. Mitcham could have a shot on goal here. The kick goes to the top of the goal square. Can Marrow fly and take the marker off the ground? No! It was rushed through in the end. It was oh so close, and Templestowe fans breathe a sigh of relief at the 20-minute mark of the second term. 5-5-35 they are. 22 points in arrears of Mitcham, who are 8-9-57.
Great work by the tackler there and Cross. Once again, they're tackling so ferociously here, and it's denying the Templestowe players plenty of space.
Slow kick out means that it was a rush kick out, so they're under a heap of pressure. Mero, what a tackle! Will he get win the free kick? No.
There's a poor handball. Matty Bain had to sit underneath that with 3 Tigers converging on him. That's the definition of a hospital ball.
There was a prey there. That's what he was.
Petrarca's dangerous. 40 metres out. He gets the hand pass backwards. Here go the Tigers through Bell. Bell gets under his right foot. 45 metres out. It's ill-directed to the right and misses out in the full.
Can't blame the handball in that situation because they are not getting a clearing kick out of defence. It is really hurt them at the moment.
They look so nervous for that first kick.
It's the kick from Bain that hit Wadsworth more or less in between the eyes, but he just dropped the mark.
So the kick out long from Templestowe. This time they hug the boundary line, but a free kick will go to DeCarla on the outer side as the impediment come over the shoulder. So DeCarla will get a chance just to steady the progress for Templestowe. He just goes long on the outer side, hugging the boundary. Numbers don't favour Templestowe, but the Grasser wins it out. Grasser, well, he gets it on a teammate. Hand pass has been smothered, so they're going to have to work it around tight circumstances. But the Dockers finally get it to half forward, but they can't win it now, and it's actually been a tackle that goes the way to Mitcham. So the turnover's a quick one into the middle, and it's in the hands of Cross. Cross gets it onto a runner, and here goes Mitcham inside 50. The hook back kick is so clever! What a beautiful vision there to turn it to Hogle. And it is this time it's Chris Hogle. He's kicked 2 goals and kicking from 45 metres out. So he didn't blaze away from 50, the runner, and hooked it back.
It was actually Cross that passed it to him.
So Cross from 50.
With a crossfield pass.
And he just hooked it across his body, and that's twice. Bell beautifully pulled it across his own body. They've just got the skills and the composure and the run of the play. Just have time to assess the best option. And this time it's finished in the hands of Chris Hogle from 50 metres out, straight in front.
Huge kick.
22-point lead for the Tigers. Now it's 28. Straight through the middle. What a great kick. Hogle kicks his 3rd. That's goal number 9 for Mitcham. They progress to 9-9 to 63, leading Templestowe on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard 5-5-35.
I've got to say, I've got to criticise the way the Templestowe midfielders aren't running defensively. I feel that once Mitcham get their hands on the ball, they're just not chasing back, and they're getting far too easy entry into their forward 50. But again, what great vision by Cross. Really was the architect of that goal.
So, once again, we restart in the middle here. They need the next one. The Dockers, we've said that a few times already in this game, haven't we? As the ball comes out, Mitcham will get the clearance. Once again, you would think, no, Bain's going to have something to say about that. Goes in real hard. He came to Hyphen. Holstead Wild got dumped after he got rid of the football. He did drop it.
He dropped it, yeah.
He did drop it. He wins the free.
That's the first mistake by the umpires. They've been very good.
Short passes on Bolterate. It's been lively, winning a lot of the football. It's half-time at Walker Park. It is the Park Orchards Football Club leading by 21 points. As the kick goes inside forward, 50. Faulkner takes the mark, plays on, and Petrarca just squared up nicely. He'll have a shot from about 45 metres out, almost directly in front.
That same play again. They're always trying to centre the ball to get the easiest shot on goal here. Now, we saw Petrarca from a similar distance in the first quarter on a slightly decreased angle, miss everything. So at this same distance, it will test him.
He's already kicked 1 goal this afternoon. Huge kick. Level of concentration on his face is extremely high as he hits the 50 now. Distance isn't a problem, and either is the accuracy, except for the last 5 seconds. And it went 3-4-1 behind. Point of the day so far, we would call it. Mitcham on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 9-10-64. Templestowe up 5-5-35. So, we'll play it to themselves here.
Templestowe kicked it back to Mitcham. Pim's going to mark it 60 metres out. Uncontested in the end. They have no idea from full back. Now the load-up kick inside 50. Oh! Put the leg out.
Andretta.
And he just put out of action his opponent in Commerdian. And Andretta took the mark. He just put the leg out, guarded the spot, and took a nice specky running with the flight of the ball.
It's exactly what he did, but he wanted it more in the contest. The way he just launched himself at the ball, it was his to mark, and he certainly did that.
So scores from turnovers just killing the Dockers at the moment.
Absolutely.
Andretta, 40 metres out. Oh, that's a wobbler. It's awkward, but it goes over the middle, does it?
Touched. It was touched off the boot.
Yeah. Well, yep. Good call, guys. And it's a minor score. Mitcham move on to a 9-11-65. They lead by 5 goals. Templestowe 5-5-35. And they finally mark a kick in.
Darcy Irwin got it to Bain, so that's better.
Nice direct play.
Bain, short passes on to Carla.
Got Mariani
sorry,
on
it's
here.
Cheppy that takes this, sorry. Wind around on his left boot. Might even take off. Players calling for it on the far side of the ground. That's the way to go now. He's lucky got it away in time because Marrow was right on his hammer. The driving ball out towards the Bendigo Bank scoreboard is eventually trickled over by Matty Stevens, who's kicked a couple of goals already in this first half as we cross to Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats.
Inside 50s this quarter, 11-8 in favour of Mitcham. The clearances 12-5 their way.
Try to bring the ball back in now. Harris goes up that time against Whitnish. Ball goes up towards the half-forward line. Nicely done there by Cheppy on the left boot now. Kicks up towards the wing position. That was a good kick towards the Carla. Takes it out in front, swings around on the right boot, spots up Mariani in the middle. Now this is better play. They're still linking up here, the Dockers. On the right boot up towards the half-forward line. It's a good kick. Mariani just sat and waited for it in the end. He'll go after it again. He had time. Handball over the top towards the Bain direction. That was Matt Bain. He was under a lot of pressure. Well done there by Cross to get the handball away. Good play there by Taylor. Scrambled to kick out there. Came Commerty and came in. Short passes on, and Prestigia Como takes the mark about 45 metres out. 45-degree angle, but the big man just tells everybody just to slow down. I'm having a ping at this.
No, and so he should. It's one of the few times that Templestowe have been able to settle from a turnover. I mean, more often than not today, they're getting the ball from Mitcham and just giving it straight back.
It's kicked 1 goal so far. This is an important kick. It drifts across the face. A big fly at the back of the pack there. Oh, was nearly pulled down. I think that was Jamie Bain who went for the fly, and over the boundary line it goes for a boundary throw in. So another chance still for the Dockers. Hot football about 15 metres out from goal. Umpire throws it in now. Stevens at the back got the knockdown. Holdstead Wild stood in position A, took the football, nearly knocked Mariani's head off as it came out to him. One way then the other. The ball still in play here. Petrarca's down there. A loose football picked up nicely there by Jenkinson. Swings around on the right boot, and it was a good kick too. Andretta goes after it. It may have nearly gone too far. No, he second bite sees it over the boundary line and out of bounds for a boundary throw in. So 5 goals is the margin out here. Mitcham started well. Templestowe came. Mitcham went again, and now we're waiting to see if Templestowe can answer that challenge as a big fist over the back sees the ball once again over the boundary line and out of bounds. So into time on here. You think there's not too much time left. 24.5 minutes. The second term qualifying final. The winner to take on Wantirna South next week for a spot in the big dance. Over the top there, Whitnish got the knockdown. He'll go after it again on the left boot. Inside 50 he goes now. Who's got the front spot here? Oh, well done, Paul Fiorenzo. Like I said earlier, he's having a pretty good game. Got it away to Bain. On the right boot, sets sail up towards the wing position. Who's going to be home? The big ruckman there, Higginson, basically just handed it to Andretto. Got the handball over the top towards Petrarca. He has to go in hard. Handball out wide. His vision was absolutely sensational. Mitcham will get another shot here. The kick goes towards the Pim direction. No, he couldn't quite pull the mark in. He picked up there by Bain. Scrambled a risky kick to his brother over the top now. And another one there, Fiorenzo. He had to go in hard, and he did just that. But he just didn't look where he was kicking the football, and it went straight down Johnson's throat across the half-back line for the Tigers. He needs to switch it out wide because Miller's absolutely screaming for it on the wing position. Takes the mark now. Has a little bit of time to size up the options. The leads are coming from the half-forward line from the Mitcham side. One way, then the other. Petrarca screaming for it on the wing. Eventually the umpire says play on. A little shimmy kick over the top, but it finds Taylor. So Taylor will wind around on the right boot now. Spots up a nice target there in the middle there. And Whitnish dropped what he probably should have taken. Then you've got Mariani right on your hammer, who barges his way through, holds the footy up, and will have a bounce, true centre wing position.
When they went forward the other time, Pim just tried to take it on the chest when he was 3D. Needed to come over the top.
Yeah, Xavier Jeans just put enough pressure on him just to put him off.
So it's on the wing, Grand side, heavy bump comes in, but they're physically at it both sides. As Mitcham and Templestowe go at it. Centre wing, late in this second term.
Mitcham not looking as good there when they were trying to slow the play down. They've got a natural game where they just need to stick to it.
Higginson's got a good leap. He just comes over the top many times in the ruck contest. Templestowe do get the up and under kick to half forward. Prestigiacomo left it behind when he went for it, but it might come out to him boundary side. Goes in to take on the tackler, gets his shoulder inside the tackle. The umpire doesn't see anything wrong about Mitcham's effort there. And it's wrapped up 55 metres around from Templestowe's goal. If they get a late one, Well, that's
They need a late one.
Well, that's it. That's it. Is it in a nutshell? Bain at the back of the pack becomes a shepherd. Lousy teammate. Oh, his head's been taken off. He slid as the tackle came in. It wasn't unduly rough. It was just how it happened. And Templestowe from 70 metres out got a chance to go forward through Bain. So Jamie Bain
slams it on his boot and a big kick out wide to the run out there of the Higginson. The big man just left it in the end. Mitcham going forward through cross, went one way then the other on the right boot. He's very good at squaring that ball up. Looking for Marrow straight through his arms in the end. At the back of the pack, they still get another chance and another goal. Beautiful play there by David Searle, who swings around on the left. And Mitcham running away with this one. 10 goals now they are on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Almost at half-time. 10-11-71. Templestowe are 5-5-35. Let's cross down boundary side. Thanks to Lifecare to Ray Baird.
No doubt Rick Irwin's got his job to do at half-time because the Templestowe players, you can have a look at their body language. It's not good body language, boys. Their heads are down and they're really chasing tail.
I've got to say, Mitcham are playing this reserve, EFL reserve, so much better. They're using the wide expanses of the wings, getting the switch on, when it presents itself, and they're running away with the ball without any real pressure on them.
It's fast football that Templestowe haven't been used to playing for most of the season.
Around the grounds, thanks to the local Burger Co. It is Park Orchards leading by 21 points at half-time over Forest Hill.
Pim, was he getting held here? The umpire said he was. He went one-handed, but he'll have now a shot for goal. And Pim, he's normally a reliable kick, but it's a 50-metre plus effort. So let's see how it's 36 points. And Templestowe will get as many numbers to the line. They really want to not concede one more before they walk into the change rooms.
Yep, Simon Harris has just jumped to the goal line, so smart work there by the Templestowe ruckman.
71 plays 35. Pim, from not much of an angle, puts it to the goal line, and it just misses to the right. So it got the journey, might have got a tap by the ruckman, but another minor score. Mitcham at half-time in the qualifying final in Division 3. 10-12-72. Templestowe 5-5-35. That's the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, qualifying final 2014.
Major goal kickers on the park this afternoon for Mitcham. 3 goals to Chris Hogle and also 3 goals to Anthony Faulkner and 2 goals to Matty Stevens from the Templestowe Football Club. We hope you're enjoying the broadcast of this qualifying final Division 3 football out at Eastfield Reserve on 98.1 Radio Eastern and streaming live on EFL.org.au. We'll be back after this to go around the grounds thanks to the local Burger Co. and speak to Big Peter Frosty Baird about everything that's happening out at Walker Park. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a moment.
What was wrong with you blokes yesterday? You were playing like you'd been stuck in traffic for an hour before getting to the game.
Coach, there was a railway crossing gate down for ages.
The other mob thrashed us. You ran out of legs.
They all have breeze tags, Coach. They use EastLink. They get to focus on the match rather than focus on inching forward in the traffic.
Get a breeze tag and use EastLink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. EastLink, it's time better spent.
Program sponsor. For the best EFL rap on radio, don't miss Akira EFL Sunday from 10 till 12 every Sunday morning on 98.1 Radio Eastern. Ben Warren Smith and the team bring you all the final scores, goal kickers, best players and ladders following a big round of EFL football. Also talk to winning coaches, players and special guests, bringing you final scores from all seniors, reserves and under-19s matches. Akira EFL Sunday, going live and local for your footy from 10 every Sunday on 98.1 Radio Eastern. Go live and local every Saturday afternoon.
He might pull this one down, the big man. What a mark that is. Bouncing ball. There he goes for a goal. Has he stuck it on? Yes, he has. From 50 metres out, he might put the third final ball for the Newman straight over the goal line.
He unloads from 55. It's a shake off the boot, but it's straight and it's a goal.
EFL Gameday, 1 through to 6 every Saturday on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
If you can't be promoted, why do you want your precious skills?
Just leave me the man who's facing the TV so and watch the Mighty Hawks.
Turning Brothers Funerals, you can celebrate your life in any way you wish. Making your double refreshers, music to be played, donations to charity. Those and other wishes can all be set out in a fixed price funeral. Find out more at turningbrothers.com.au. Turning Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives. Program sponsor.
Are you feeling like your man space needs something special? The club room need a little something behind the bar. Just want to spoil yourself and show off to your mates. Authentic Autographs is Australia's largest licensed and authentic memorabilia dealer across all sports. With a range of sectors and authentic autographs is a one-stop shop for all your memorabilia needs. To an empty space in your pool room, or you feel like your man needs something special, contact David on 0339 740 710 or visit the show at 1115 Westwood Drive, Park.
Back to EFL Gameday, massive EFL Gameday, the first Sunday afternoon of the Choose Tap Finals for 2014. Make sure you stay up to date with all the Choose Tap Final scores. Of course, two massive games going on around the Eastern Football League at the moment. Want to know all the low scores of the Choose Tap Finals? The EFL media team will be using Twitter to bring you all the around-the-ground scores. They'll be tweeting their live quarter-by-quarter scores and retweeting EFL clubs and fans and keeping social media up to date with how their team is performing. But you don't have to sign up to a Twitter account to get the live scores. Type on m.efl.org in your smartphone internet browser. Follow the prompts to save as an app. Tap social, then Twitter, and presto, you've got the live scores. You can also snap your way to the Choose Tap Grand Finals if you do have those social media accounts. It's become a massive part of the Eastern Football League finals in recent years. This year is a chance to win a double pass to the grand final of your choice. Simply head to one of the 6 Choose Tap Final venues in the coming weeks, take a snap, upload it to either Twitter or Instagram using the handle @FootyEFL, and the best photo each week will win a double pass to the EFL Choose Tap Grand Final of their choice. A couple of update scores coming from the AFL. It's a 17-minute mark for the final term up at Gavin. That's Fremantle 13-15-93. Hopefully for Templestowe fans, it's a good win against the company. All over the zone at the moment. 6:45. Like I said, the final term there, and the game's just started at Etihad Stadium between the Western Bulldogs and Sydney, and it's currently a 2-goal lead to Sydney. Sydney 2-12 lead the Western Bulldogs to score in that one. Quick update from around the down scores. We'll cross back to the boys out at East Burwood shortly, but currently at Orchard Park in Mitcham in the Choose Tap first semi-final. It's Park Orchard 7-9-50. They lead Forest Hill 4-5 Park Orchard's got 7 out of 8 goals during that first and second term. It's taking commanding lead into half-time. Mitcham in our radio game this afternoon, which is the Division 3 Choose Tap qualifying final. They lead 10-11-71 to Templestowe 5-5-35. So plenty of great games. As you go local for your football, make sure you stay tuned to the EFL website, the EFL Facebook, all across the social media. Fixtures going up for next week. Plenty of different information to get to between now and next week before some massive finals going on later this afternoon. It's that time of the year, it's the most wonderful time of the year. And it's press back to the boys for the partial half-time show right after this.
How would you like your coffee?
I'd like it covered with their messages from all my friends and family.
Can I get a picture of a beautiful sunset over the 12 Apostles?
Make mine look like a smartphone.
I'd like black with a yellow sash and the words to the team song as well.
Well, Token Brothers Funerals, anything is possible, including a custom-designed and decorated coffin to celebrate your life. To find out more, visit tokenbrothers.com.au. Token Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor. What was wrong with you blokes yesterday? You were playing like you'd been stuck in traffic for an hour before getting to the game.
Coach, there was a railway crossing gate down for ages.
The other mob crashed us. You ran out of legs.
They all have breeze tags, Coach. They use EastLink. They get to focus on the match rather than focus on inching forward in the traffic.
Get a breeze tag and use EastLink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. EastLink, it's time better spent.
Program sponsor.
Have you got a premiership or milestone run for each fan? Is the better afternoon you clean up the manpower? Well, you're in luck. As well as being Australia's largest licensed memorabilia dealer, the 10th autograph also got custom framing. From the deep blue light framing, lots of free pins, and not only look great, but some venues your pride should be in the league of the building. The 10th also
Welcome back out here to East Burwood Reserve. Just waiting for our host to step into play, so I'll do that.
Back on. I can hear the people talking in the effects mic.
But there's no point having an argument on air because we need to cross out to Walker Park because the big man who used to milk cows for a living is riding shotgun out there for the big elimination, the big semi-final between Park Orchards and Forest Hill. It's a 21-point lead to Park Orchards at half-time out there, Frosty.
Yeah, it has been. Park Orchards, they were a bit slow to start the first quarter, and Forest Hill jumped out of the blocks really well, kicked the first 2 goals of the game. But from there, Park Orchards really asserted some authority on the game with real tackling pressure. They were able to tackle hard. They spread well from the contest. They kicked 7 of the next 8 goals of the game to open up a 27-point lead just before half-time. Forest Hill hit back with one late in the second term through Kane McGarmez, who kicked his second of the game to reduce the margin back to 21 points at half-time. But the game's not over out here, but Park Orchards look much more composed, and their tackling pressure's been absolutely fantastic. Just as I speak, we've been playing 5 minutes now in the third term here. Tom Harley's just kicked his 3rd goal of the game for Park Orchards. The lead's now out to 26 points, and Park Orchards, they look to have this game in hand at the moment. Forest Hill, they've probably dominated the first 5 minutes of the third term, but aren't able to capitalise. They've wasted a few opportunities. But Park Orchards, they're making the most of their forays forward. They're really strong over the ball. They're running hard, and they look like the team that's going to get this job done, Ben.
Who are the players that are standing out at the moment, Pete?
Liam Bahajar's been fantastic. Sam Coughlin been hard into the contest. Tom Harley's provided a focal point up forward for them 5 minutes into the third quarter. He's kicked 3 goals. So, yeah, I mean, it's been a real even team performance for them. They've been lively. They've looked a lot quicker than Forest Hill have, who seem to be a bit indecisive at the moment. They've struggled a little bit to use the ball well. And Park Orchards, they've been very well coached. They've shut down some of the bigger options up forward for Forest Hill guys like Ash Nolte. Although he's kicked 1 goal, hasn't really had a huge impact on the game. He was really dominant in the first 5 minutes. Nathan Jamo hasn't really had a sniff. And Sugar Bagarmas, he's kicked 2 goals for the game, but not his real dominant self. So all credit to Park Orchards. They've been really well prepared, and they're moving the ball forward again and may look to score again.
Frosty, Forest Hill, a tall side, a good marking side. Is it safe to say that this game is probably a more of a fast-paced sort of frenetic sort of final? Is that why Park Orchards are getting on top?
Yeah, I spoke to John Brown yesterday. He was out here watching the Sylvan Warrandyte game, and he said although it's a smaller ground here at Walker Park, it does play very quickly, and there is a lot more space out on the wings if you use it properly. And Park Orchards have done that today. They've been able to bring the ball to ground. They've been able to contest. And they've been able to really run and spread from the contest, which has really worried Forest Hill at times. Forest Hill, when they've been able to keep the ball in the air, have looked good. But when the ball's been at ground level, it's just that tackling pressure from Park Orchards and then the run and spread from the contest that's really proved the difference at the moment.
What's your tip, Pete, going into this third quarter?
Well, as I said, we're now 7.5 minutes in. Forest Hill trail by 26 points, and unless they can really start to get their mojo back, I reckon Park Orchards have got this one in the bag.
Well, great stuff. Keeping us up to date through Twitter sphere all afternoon, mate. Keep that up for the next half an hour or 45 minutes or so, and enjoy yourself out there because it's a big, big clash. The winner goes on to fight another day. The loser, well, it's Mad Monday for them next week. All the best, mate, out there, and we'll chat to you very soon.
I look forward to it, mate. I reckon there's some worrying signs for Warrandyte, who didn't want to run yesterday. This Park Orchard side, they're full of run, and they may well run the bloods off their legs next week.
Oh, he's a Division 4 specialist, isn't he, Peter Baird? We'll be certainly having a chat to him maybe later on in the day if it goes all to plan and goes out to be a very close game, Seymour.
Absolutely right. And speaking of games that are close, or one that's not close, is this one out here at the moment. Mitcham really pulled away in that second term there, Andy. It looked like Templestowe had the running at the back end of the first quarter, and then they kicked the first goal of the second quarter. It was all back to 8 points, and then from then on it was just the Tigers.
Yeah, as I said, Seymour, it was all the Tigers after that initial a bit of momentum for the Templestowe Football Club. As I mentioned, they're just playing the game. Sorry, I meant to say the ground a hell of a lot better.
Yep.
They're just willing to switch the play. It's not always going to be straight through the middle, and that's where a lot of turnovers can really hurt you. So they're just getting that switch on board, and the Templestowe midfielders, they're not running defensively. And, look, Mitcham are just getting too easy at the inside 50.
The foot skills have been average at best. Grant Campbell, thanks to Tuesday for some stats that matter. How exactly did the second quarter play out in terms of numbers?
In the second quarter, Mitcham won the clearances 17-7, the inside 50s 15-11. The effective tackle count was 14-7 in favour of Mitcham. So Templestowe, I've only got them down as having 13 effective tackles in that first half.
Yep.
So Mitcham breaking the tackles far too easily. In Mitcham's game style, they very much opted to kick because they had 53 kicks, only the 13 handballs.
Wow.
So pretty clear indication that when they're getting it, they're moving it quickly by kicking the ball rather than stuffing around with the handballs.
So 13 effective tackles in a quarter where the opposition's got more of the football than you are. It probably spells trouble, and that's why the scoreboard currently has Mitcham up by 37 points.
Well, I think what Templestowe really need to do is take a leaf out of Wanturna South book. You know, about a month ago we saw at Walker Park that defensive style of play that Mitcham really couldn't handle. They really didn't enjoy it, and this game is just far too open. It suits Mitcham far too much, and it's no surprise to see Mitcham currently up by 37 points.
37 points is the margin out here. The umpires and the Mitcham side have just come back onto the ground, so we're going to cross back to Dyson Baker in the Radio Eastern studios for a quick break to get through all our important sponsors who look after us right throughout the season. And we'll be back here for the big second half on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Are you feeling like your man space needs something special? Club rooms need a little something behind the bar? Just want to spoil yourself and show off to your mates? Authentic Autographs is Australia's largest licensed and authentic memorabilia dealer across all sports. With a range second to none, Authentic Autographs is a one-stop shop for all your memorabilia needs. If there's an empty space on your pool room wall or you feel your man cave needs something special, contact David on 0439 743 710 or visit the showroom at 11 to 15 Westwood Drive, Deer Park.
How would you like your coffin to look?
I'd like it covered with farewell messages from all my friends and family.
Can I get a picture of a beautiful sunset over the 12 apostles?
Make mine look like a smartphone.
I'd like black with a yellow sash and the words to the team song as well.
Well, at Tobin Brothers Funerals, anything is possible, including a custom-designed and decorated coffin to celebrate your life. To find out more, visit tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
For all the latest news and information on the Eastern Football League, make sure you check out our website, www.efl.org.au.
The warm-up continues right here on EFL Saturday.
Yes, well, it's a qualifying final day out at East Burwood Reserve and a 37-point lead currently to the Mitcham Football Club at 10-12, 72 to 5-5, 35. So 22 scoring shots to 10 at the moment, and the Mitcham side are well and truly on their way to going through to a big qualifying final next week.
Absolutely, they are. Look, they've been awesome in this first half. Again, the way they're just pushing the ball inside 50 with ease. It's just giving them too many shots on goal. And yeah, look, it seems to be all Mitcham.
Well, and Andy, one stat would be tackles inside 50. The fact that Templestowe get behind the play and like to build up from the back line, Mitcham have identified that they put pressure inside their own forward 50 from tackles. Turnover goals would actually be a great stat to have got going because. Yeah, it really is the pressure on the defence that's cost them goals.
Yeah,
hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, it's a great forward press that they've got going here, Mitcham. And as I said, it doesn't help from Templestowe's point of view that they're obviously turning the ball over, and that's where the tackles are obviously going to come into play there as well. So, look, Templestowe just got to clean up their act with with using the ball, and who knows, they could get back in this game.
The forward 50 tackles were 5-2 in the first half in favour of Mitcham, so that wasn't a high count. I think the bigger problem was they were kicking in from fullback like Jordan Russell did for Carlton.
Let's not bring that name up again,
Little
please.
dig.
He's doing well at Footscray, though.
You're thinking Mark Austin, I think.
No, Jordan Russell's playing for Footscray VFL.
Oh, okay, right.
Around the grounds, thanks to the local burger company on 118 Bayswater Road, South Croydon. They are delicious. It is a 21-point lead in the third term to the Park Orchards Football Club over Forest Hill. But we're back out of here at East Burwood Reserve because it's semi-final day. It is Mitcham taking on the Templestowe Football Club. Here's Gav Casey to take us away with the second half.
So a big task for the Templestowe Football Club as the storm clouds approach, not just metaphorically, but maybe imminent rain as here goes Mitcham again, getting it out of the centre. Cross has got it in hand, puts it on the left boot, but his spearing pass has been chopped off. So Templestowe just repelling the first attack. Another short on will go to Bain. Bain at centre half back. So this is where they got themselves into trouble, Templestowe. They're going sideways. from right back pocket to left back pocket. Now they approach the outer wing. It doesn't fall there for Dakala as he falls over and allows Bell to come in, getting a hand pass. He goes in the centre corridor. They're not shy of taking a risk. And here they go again through Petrarca. Julian Petrarca gets it inside, but no mark taken. As dropping back in defence, nicely done for the Templestowe defence through Fiorenza. And his kick is a big turnover as Coyle's taken it 45 metres, and that's why they're down by that much. They've actually kicked it to the opposition too many times.
You just shake your head, Gav. It took a great mark going back with the floor of the ball, an awesome defensive mark, and just missed a 15-metre kick and just put it straight onto the chest of Bo Coyle.
Yeah, it's an elementary skill.
So here's Coyle from 50 metres out, straight in front, puts it to the line. It hasn't got the length. Ground level, it's still the Tigers. They've had to come in with 2 tackles, and Templestowe are able to bundle it over and concede the minor score. So it's now 10-13-73, a 38-point margin for Mitcham over Templestowe, 5-5-35 early in this third term of the qualifying final.
So Darcy Irwin to bring the ball back in for Tempe. This is where it's really hurt them this afternoon, and they will be feeling the pressure, and he's been called to play on, and then he's been rushed through for a behind in the end, and we don't have the scores.
He's not allowed to, that's not a rule in the Eastern Footy League, is it?
Yeah, absolutely it is. Yep, been pinged for a deliberate rush behind. That was exactly why the rule came in, when Brett Guerra was doing that in the 2008 Grand Final. The umpire called play, and he was taking it along to kick the ball in and just walk straight back over the line.
I'm not sure that's a... Yeah, I want to get that checked. We might get our
umpire straight over the goal umpire's head and let all know about it. So Jaden Hogle kicks his first goal of the afternoon, and Mitcham, that's his second, I should say, and running away with this one now. It's only early in this third term, but it is a big margin. 11 goals, 12-78. Templestowe 5-5-35.
Yeah. I think you're allowed to concede the point, but let's get it checked. It's a free kick. Okay, we've got the big nod. So, yeah, it's like the AFL. You are allowed to be penalised for.
That's why he paid it, Gav. That's why he paid it. So the ball back in the middle of the ground, picked up there by Whitnish on the left boot, goes up towards the half-forward line. Which way is this one going to fall? It falls in the way of Mitcham. Swinging around on the right boot, the kick goes towards the Bolterate direction, but it was nicely chopped off, and now Templestowe will get another chance. Kick goes up towards the Lopari direction. He needs to fly, bring it down on the second bite. Couldn't quite do so. In came Hogle of the Jaden variety. Prestigia Como came over the top to lay a decent old tackle, and will have a bounce.
It's just basic errors again from Templestowe. Jesse Wilson took the mark and then tried to kick it while running backwards. Only Doug Hawkins can do that. That's why the kick went straight up in the air, and it's another turnover, another stalemate.
So Cross tried to barge his way through. He's having a good game. Got it away. Petrarca got boot to ball just in time. That was okay. Picked up there by Wilson. Got a little handball away. Kick goes inside forward. 50 by Petrarca this time. Bouncing away. Picked up there by Bain of the Ryan variety. Went one way then the other. Squeezed a kick out towards Cheppy, who takes the mark across the half-back line for the Dockers. He'll swing around on the left foot. Kicks it up towards the wing position now. Up towards the Prestigia Como direction, who takes it on the second bite. True centre wing position here, right in front of the Mitcham and Templestowe faithful. A lot of voices coming out there today for Prestigia Como after that nice little duel he had in that first half. Short pass is good. So the kick goes up towards Lopari. Takes the mark. Dakala, I should say. Swings around now. Here's Cheppy. On the left boot, kicks it up towards the half-forward line. Who wants the football? It eventually just got left there for Mariani, who goes after it. It's got to turn his player inside out. That was okay. Goes across towards his brother. Has to hit the football hard, but he hit James Holstein very hard, who then tackled him when he didn't have the football. And a free kick has been paid, and it'll go the way of the Dockers about 40 metres out.
I've got to say, that's a really good decision by the umpire, because Mariani didn't actually take possession of that ball and did get tackled in that direct play. So well done on that free kick.
If ever they needed a goal, it is now. Matty Mariani, what a fantastic season he's had since coming across from the East Burwood Football Club. He knows this ground. He knows this pocket. He should know where the goals are. He starts his approach now. Biggest kick of the day for Templestowe. Leans over it, pushes it to the right-hand side. There'll be no score. It'll stay in the end. They had 3 Tigers there just to raffle it. They spoiled each other, and over the boundary line it goes as we cross down boundary side. Thanks to Lifecare to Ray Baird.
BWS, that's the second time today you said the Marianis from exactly the same spot know this ground and they've kicked it out of bounds.
Yeah, they should know it. They're certainly letting themselves down, aren't they? As it's picked up there by Preston Giacomo, and he puts it straight over the goal umpire's head. That's the goal that they needed. That's his second of the afternoon, and Templestowe 6, 7 minutes gone in this third term. They call it the Premiership quarter for a reason, but it is Mitcham still leading by a big margin, 11-12, 78, 37 points over Templestowe, 6-5, 41.
Well, obviously, it's got to happen now, and Adam Preston Giacomo, along with Paul Fiorenza, have probably been
the shining lights.
Probably Templestowe's two best players, and probably the only two that have played consistently over the 2 and a bit quarters that we've seen. So we need the rest of them to come to the party here so we can get a close finish in our hands.
Whitnish takes the tap off his ruckman. His quick kick fires into the forward line, and Marrow's got it. Got a short on as they run to the open space, and Cross takes the mark. Practically uncontested, 40 metres out. So Mitcham, they spread nicely. Once they know they've got the ball, they run forward and make space for each other, and they've been able to pinpoint passes, short or long. So Cross from about 45 metres out, probably about the same degree angle. So runs in, puts it as long as he can, but it sort of just bounces off his boot and goes out for on the full. And a turnover will ensure to the Dockers. So it's still 37 points lead for Mitcham.
As our Lifecare boundary rider said at the start of the game, there wasn't a breath of breeze out here, although looking across the ground now, it looks like the wind's really picked up. Let's cross down, thanks to Lifecare, to Ray Baird. What's the wind update down there, Ray? Does it look like it's favouring anybody? Because there's a few kicks going here, there and everywhere.
Well, looking at the flag on the top of the scoreboard, it looks as though it's going across to the scoreboard, but it's not that strong, really. It's got very cold, but the wind's not that strong. I don't think it's a real issue.
So it'll be Cheppy on the left boot to drive it up towards the wing position. Uncontested mark though, so can't allow those to happen as the kick goes up towards the half-forward line now. Mariani got the handball away to Bain. Now they switch the play over towards Wilson, who charged the pack, dropped the football now. Scooped upon there by Ryan Bain in towards the middle of the ground. Needed to be neat, and he was. Got the handball away. Stavropoulos got it away to Van Kerkhoff. Inside forward 50 towards the Grasser direction. He had two players to beat there. It was knocked away from him. The big ruckman, Higginson, goes after it. Right on his hammer was Joel DeCarla and seen over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Too unselfish there, Jimmy VC. He should have just had an open goal square. Should have just pinned the ears back and tried to bounce one home. Instead, went to Simon Grasser in a 2-on-1. It would have been a hard contest to win for the Big Pig.
So Templestowe still got a chance. They're 40 metres from their goals. DeCarla comes in late to try to spoil over the top in the contest. At ground level, it's Mitcham trying to work it close to the line, but Helston Wild's hand pass goes over. And for another boundary throw in, about 45 metres around from Templestowe's goals. It's an understatement that they need the next one and in a hurry, because they've really just been beaten at all segments of the game. And again, it's Taylor doing well. Good body work in close, gets the hand pass forward, and here they stream forward again. The Tigers on the bounce. They're dashing forward. Clayton gets it over to another runner. Now into the middle through Andretta. Andretta gets dragged down as he kick it, but Pim's in good position. Man over the top. Punch goes out of bounds. Templestowe on the last line rescue the situation, but Pim looked dangerous there.
That was a good bit of play by Mitcham running through the middle of the ground. Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats.
Clearances 6-1 and inside 50 6-2, both in favour of Mitcham this quarter.
So the umpire to bring it back in, deep in Mitcham's forward line. Be Harris versus Pim, who Pim gave a little push and got a kick to do it. But the umpire said it was not fair, and he's giving away a free kick in the ruck duel. So Templestowe get the chance to move the ball out of their defensive zone.
Jamie Bain just coming back onto the ground. There's no way he's 100% fit. He's missed a lot of the season with the hamstrings. Hasn't spent a lot of time in the midfield this afternoon.
Cheppy, nearly say he's been Templestowe's best player, but he let himself down there with that kick, as now it's Bell from inside the 50, sets sail towards goal and drifts across the face once again, but the mark's been taken at the back. That is fantastic.
Lucas Marrow.
And Marrow will, on the tightest of angles in the forward pocket, will have to go back and probably run around here, you would think, and use the snap option. Now he does. Marrow swings around. Oh, that's a good kick. The umpire stood straight through the middle, but it went straight through the behind. So minor score as a result. That's 13 for them now, Mitcham. They are powering on the scoreboard. Just missing a few ones they probably should have. 11 goals, 13, 79, 6-5, 41 at Templestowe with Bain to bring the ball back in.
This time they do get out of the square, but they've walked themselves back into trouble. Tackle comes in, point conceded, no free kick this time.
No, pressure there. Pressure. Yep, definitely.
So they're really, why are they waiting so long? Just dump it as far as you can. Exactly. You know what the trouble is if you don't get away from your goal line. This time a pass, 25-metre penalty, that'll take some pressure off the kicker. And Templestowe, well, you can't blame the kicker if he doesn't see any options, but, geez, they've walked themselves into trouble, or kicked it back into trouble many times today.
It's just discipline. You've just got to go long in that situation. Go to the ruckman, where he's signed, Harris, for example, and get it out of there.
So Bain gives a short one into the middle of the ground, and can Templestowe set up as they try to go through Wadsworth out wide, got some running going. Templestowe just bombed it to the flank, and it's going to suit Purcell, who takes the mark deep in his own defence. That was a misdirected kick to no one in particular, as Pestra Giacomo just stands the mark now.
He's winning his position well today,
Watch
Purcell.
for the switch, I say.
Yep. So Purcell, he's on the left pocket, grandstand side. He goes boundary side. Late spoil will come in and will keep it in the area. Well done by the ruckman. Harris comes in over the top for the Dockers, 60 metres around from the goals. And it's still, even for all the peppering Mitcham have done, they haven't really extended too far out. They're a 39-point lead in this third term. The ruck tap is still, they win the clearance through Petrarca. Petrarca just gets an up and under kick to the wing. Doesn't suit anyone as the contest ensues. And on the outer side, it's Lipari taking on all tacklers. And it's now a throw in on the outer side.
As silly as it sounds, Templestowe need to slow the game down. The slower the game, the better. They're not a side that's going to come out and go bang, bang, bang and kick 5 goals quickly. To slow the game down, and eventually they might be able to work their way on top and just chip into this lead. There's still plenty of time.
Melda got the knockdown over the top towards Petrarca, got a searching handball out towards the Sill direction, had time and the poise to squeeze up a kick up across half forward, and it was good. And I think it's Coyle that's taken that mark down there. Might even be Hogle. It is on the right boot. That's Jaden Hogle, goes in towards the forward pocket and just marked unmanned down there.
There's 2 of them.
Jared
Whitnish. Thank you, Paul.
The skipper.
He'll have a shot on goal. Doesn't look like he fancies himself from this position.
He's a left footer. So on the wrong side for a left footer. Lovely goal. Orange boots, fluor orange boots.
So Whitnish. Come in now, kick from about 35 metres out. I think the wind might even help this ball back. Sets it out wide, but probably too wide in the end, and Pym just comes over the top and straight into his breadbasket. So from one side of the ground to the other, still a difficult angle for Big Pimmy, but he'll go back and have a shot on goal. He's yet to kick one yet today.
I've got to say, it's a cardinal sin to just let him jump and take that mark uncontested.
So will he go for the banana kick, or will he wind around on the left boot? He'll go around on the left and he kicks it straight over the goal umpire's head. It really just is as easy as that when you're a star like Stephen Pym. That's his first, and that is 12 goals now to the Mitcham Football Club, and Templestowe cannot come back from here. 12 goals, 15, 87. It is a 46-point lead, 6-5, 41. It's crossed down boundary side thanks to Lifecare.
I believe that kick by Whitnish was a set play, boys, because Big Pimmy went right back beside the point post and he come right over the top of the pack. It was definitely a set play.
Back in the middle of Eastbourne Reserve. Tap this time won by Templestowe as they try to get it through Stavropoulos. He gets his hand pass smothered, so Mitcham hold it up in the middle and the umpire will come in to ball it up again for a secondary throw up. So it's a big lead, 46-point lead for Mitcham in this third term. Petrarca gets tackled by 2 in the centre of Eastbourne Reserve. The umpire will come in again for another ball up. So Pym's been involved a lot, but that's his first goal on the board. So that's the structure that Mitcham have got in comparison to Templestowe that allows them to go into their forward line and just look for the options, just find the best one. In the middle of the ground, the ball up again. So we've had 4 stoppages now in a minute, and the umpire finally blows his whistle to get a free kick, and this will clear the area for Templestowe. As over the shoulder goes the way of Vankachov. Gets his hand pass to the runner, and here goes Templestowe inside 50. Well, it was trying to get Preston Giacomo, but he had a wall in front of him. Petrarca takes it, Julian, hands it over to Robbie. And his kick's a worm burner, and the bounce of the ball suits the opposition. As from half-back, Vankachov gets it again from the centre-half-back position. Goes long, but he doesn't look because it's all Mitcham, and then they can even drop the mark because then run off with their numbers. Hand pass goes forward. Can they get the running game going now on the outer wing?
Beautiful.
It does seem to open now. Witness has got it, left boot, puts it in the dangerous area, running back with a flighted ball. Mark taken, hand pass over the top, goal from a metre out. And it's way too easy as Marrow gets his first goal on the board. Mitcham 13-15, 93. Templestowe 6-5, 41. Grant Campbell, some stats that matter.
Marks inside 50 this quarter, 7-0 in favour of Mitcham. And for the match, it's 19-7 their way.
Well, they're making a statement at the moment, Tigers. The Tigers are saying, we can go us up against the best defensive side in Division 3 and just watch us mop the floor with them. They're just having no problem getting it inside 50. 28 scoring shots at the moment. We're only halfway through the third quarter. This one, BWS, has the makings of an absolute belting.
Around the grounds, thanks to the local burger company, it is Park Orchards by 22 points at three-quarter time over Forest Hill 77 plays 35. Now, Park Orchards got out to a 37-point lead during that term before 4 quick goals got Forest Hill back in the game. So Frosty Bears still saying it is game on. Here, though, it's another story. The ball bounces up in towards the Templestowe forward line. Grasser couldn't quite get there. It was nicely done there by Miller. Switches the play. It really was a dangerous kick in the end. Templestowe might be able to get their own little bit of revenge over the top. Bain runs in. Bain must kick a goal. Bain does kick a goal. So Templestowe, just what they were after, maybe just keeping them slightly in touch. 7 goals, 5-47. They're still trailing heavily. 13-15, 93 are the Mitcham side. We've almost gone 20 minutes in this third term.
I think you're being a little bit optimistic there, BWS. 46.
I called it over 2 goals ago. I'm just saying they keep a glimmer of hope alive.
They do.
I reckon there's a chance.
There's more than enough time. We know that. But look, great play by the Templestowe forwards there. They shared it well and ended up with Jamie Bain kicking a single goal.
Prestigier Como's in the ruck. Judy's now, so it's a big move as Templestowe surge forward again. They try to load up. Here's Grasser, 40 metres out, takes the mark, gets bundled over after he marked it. We've seen 25 paid in the second term. And Grasser's milking it as much as he can, or he can't just get up, is the other part.
Maybe the fact that that actually might have hurt.
I'm not saying it didn't hurt, but he's taking his time.
I think it was more to con the umpire.
Settle down, Seymour.
Yeah, don't be defensive. I know it's not.
Him in the back of the head.
It was quite late, and a 25-metre penalty could have been paid, but the umpire chose not to pay.
It was good, smart footy from Matty Bain, who found himself in a little bit of space, didn't blaze away.
Good vision.
Just kicked it to the space in front of the pig, who was good enough to take what was a pretty strong contested mark in the end.
It was.
Has he got the legs in him, Paul? He's 50 metres out. He's not much of an angle. He deviates a little bit on the right just to get some leverage. His kick goes to the line, doesn't get the distance, goes close, and has been bundled over by the Mitcham defence for a minor score. 7-6, 48, and Mitcham 13-15, 93, leading by 45 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
It's a very high kick. I think he got a little bit too close to the man of the mark there, and you would normally get that distance, you'd say.
He's got a very punchy set shot style. Doesn't usually like to kick the ball too high.
It's going to be 25.
Oh, he got talked into it, did he?
He called play on, and then the player on the mark has obviously encroached, but he hasn't because it's been called play on. And
so
hence
Johnson,
the 25-metre.
no one stands the mark. That's undisciplined in itself. Gets the ball out wide. They're linking up nicely here. Here comes Cross in the middle of the ground. Set sail inside forward 50. Got dumped after he kicked it downfield.
Well, it's very soft. That is.
Downfield, the free kick is. So
I've got to say, Cross has been absolutely fantastic today. His run on the outer sides have been amazing to watch. I think he'll be definitely one of the best players of the day.
So Stephen Pym is the recipient of that downfield free kick. He'll have a shot from about 35 metres out. It's a difficult angle, but as we saw from the big man only about 5 minutes ago, tough angles are his specialty this afternoon because he put that straight over the goal umpire's head. Now let's see what he can do from the other side of the ground. Stevie Pym on the right boot. It's a kick across the face of goal.
Another set play.
Once again, the wind just drifting that across. So touched over the boundary line and out of bounds. So right forward pocket. Mitcham looking for their 14th goal. They've kicked 13-15 to 7-6 today. Fantastic performance. There's still over a quarter to go, though. As Boltrawade, he'll be the first player to meet it. He was picked up there by DeCarla and a strong tackle to bring the ball to ground, and we'll have a bounce just outside the 50-metre arc for Mitcham. Quick restart there. Over the back. Standing over it there was Cross. Right on his hammer is Stavropoulos to hold the football in. We've gone about 10 metres further in, so it's in Mitcham's forward line. Umpire throws it up now. Fall the ball. There's a lot of players around this football, and we'll have a bounce. Sounds like a train's about to mow us down in the background. The umpire throws it back up.
Tram to the city.
Comes in now. Copping one high was Stavropoulos. The umpire said yes. I certainly saw that one as Mitcham were about to run into an open goal there. So Chris Stavropoulos across the half-back line now for Templestowe. He's got short options. Elects to go for the longer one into Carla. He had to go up against two Tigers there. Nice fist away there by Bolterwaite over the boundary line and out of bounds. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on 98.1 Radio Eastern and streaming live on efl.org.au for today's broadcast game as Mariani traps it from the stoppage, but then thumps it on his boot up towards the half-forward line. He's looking for Bain out there over the top of his head. Right on his hammer there is Taylor. Bain goes after it. He was dumped after he got rid of the football. So they've been consistent with it, the umpires, which is a good thing to see. So it'll be Bain's free kick across the half-forward line. He might be just too far out to score, is Matt.
The umbrella start going up.
So rain starts to trickle down. Bain on the right boot in towards the pocket. That was a good lead and it was a good kick too. So the big man, Simon Grasser, comes out and takes the mark. He's well within his range now. He won't be having to push for distance. He just needs to drop the football correctly and give him every chance. So Grasser, this is what full forwards are meant to do. Lead out, chest mark, kick a goal. I think the Music Men wrote a song about that as he comes in now from about 30 metres. It's a good-looking kick off the boot. That is a very nice kick off the boot. Over the goal umpire's head it goes, and that's his second. And Templestowe clawing themselves back into a contest. 8 goals, 6-54. They're trailing by 39 points. Mitcham 13-15-93.
That goal was set up by Mariani. He kicked it out into space, and Bain ran onto it actually, earned the free kick, and once again, you know, found Grasser. Grasser didn't have really a lot of space to lead into, so he had to find it in the pocket, and that's where he got it, and that's where he kicked the goal from. Well done.
So it's 3 goals apiece in this term, and Templestowe get it out of the centre again from the back of the square. Bain's kick now just eludes the defence. Big pressure on Mitcham, but they're sharing it well through Bell onto Cam Taylor, and Taylor runs the left side and puts it on the outer side. No mark taken for Templestowe, and at ground level Whitnish might concede it out of bounds, but gets the hand pass in board to Miller, gets it back to Whitnish, and Whitnish just goes long. Pim's gone to half forward out of his usual range, and he drops it over the line, but he had a lot of pressure, so not a bad result for the Tigers. They've gone from deep in their defence to half forward in the blink of an eye, and they've got a great ability to run the ball and link up.
It's too easy for Whitnish then. He was working in a telephone box right up next to the boundary line. I mean, he should have just been bundled over, but was able to get the old 1-2 going with Miller.
Melder won the tap down, and it's Mitcham going again from outside the arc. They try to set it up into a pass. The Templestowe defence, they're under a lot of pressure. Normally, they've succumbed. Working it is Wilson. Another hand pass, walked into trouble. Couple of tackles.
He got legs, he did.
Just when the tackle slipped on him and allowed the free kick to be paid, and Quinn is quite thankful that he wasn't taken down in the tackle.
The forward pressure from Mitcham has been sensational today.
So what can Templestowe do? Slow and steady and up and under. Taylor comes in late, does get the punch in, and it's down at ground level again.
Still in.
Still in, so a big opportunity for Mitcham to work it, but it's Templestowe holding up nicely. They clear the decks. The Carlo at half forward comes in late, but too late. Mark taken by Purcell. He's going to get it as long as possible back into the danger area inside 50 at ground level. The punches from Templestowe. Who's at ground level for the Purple Haze? No one yet. The tackling is ferocious again, but it's in the hands of the Tigers. They've done well to strip the defence, but again it's held up 40 metres out as Petrarca hands it over to the umpire. 40 metres around from the goals. 93 plays 54. Clearing kick. Might only be temporarily. As Cam Taylor runs back, he might be the support mechanism for Purcell, but Purcell goes forward with a high up and under, and the hand pass doesn't hit a target, and in fact is in the hands of Bain, who will give it over.
Smart from Eddie Bain. Just force the stalemate. Get the 50-50 going again.
But it's Mitcham from the centre, the stoppage, clearing it out. Pim will come from behind with the punch. He doesn't get around his defender, and the mark taken. So turnover will ensure as Irwin. Darcy Irwin's got it at halfback.
So Darcy Irwin on the right boot, square to pass up. It's a good one. Mark's been taken by Stevens. And the right boot kicked 2 goals today. Short passes on, that's okay. DeCarla comes out. Finally 1 sticks for him. Presented well today. It's just either the delivery or the slippery hands. Just haven't been able to pull too many down. Gives the handball off now. Might go for the old 1-2. It was good pressure there by Holdsteed Wild, who forced a pressure kick up towards the Purcell direction, who got a knock on it away from Alistair Quinn and over the boundary line and out of bounds. 13 goals, 15.93. It plays 8-6-54. It's a 39-point lead out here to the Mitcham side as the ball's been thrown back in again. Petrarca was there. Cheppy came in, got a little handball away. Purcell's in there, traps the football now for the Tigers. Kick was up and under. It might even go wide. It does, out of bounds on the full. So Templestowe a chance to get the ball to the hot spot.
They're not on top by any stretch of the imagination, but the last 5 minutes has just been an even contest, which we haven't seen for most of the afternoon.
So Bain, it was a shank of a kick off the boot. It was touched as well. So it was marked by Stavropoulos. He had to give it back to Bain because he was called play on. Bain goes backwards again. They're doing it in bits and pieces. Risky stuff. There's a lot of players inside this forward 50, so not a lot of space for the forwards to lead into. So they go towards the Grasser direction. He had to beat 4 players then. I can't see why that was the best option. Melder got the handball over the top, but it went into no man's land. Here's Cheppy, up and under kick to the hot spot. Which way is this one going to go? The only player that really wanted it was Andretta. In the end, he got a double fister on it. Ball hits the deck. Going in after it there, Commerdy, and his little handball went awry. Got a handball out. Miller chopped that one off, and now they push it out to the defensive zone here. Mitcham, they've done well. It's gone back inside. Handball across there from Cross. Bouncing football near the boundary line. Backwards to go forwards, then over the top again now. Oh, and nearly ripped off Andretta. He almost caught one high too for his troubles. Over the boundary line, it goes for a boundary throw-in.
There's really good pressure by the Templestowe forwards there to keep the ball inside their forward 50. Mitcham had multiple chances to get it out, but well done to the Templestowe players there.
Rain tumbling down as Melder had the front spot. He got the knockdown. Charging through there, David Searle. Didn't he have a turn of speed? Gained a very valuable 30 metres or so, and eventually the ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds.
So it's 70 metres around from Templestowe's goals, and this is how they like to play the game, but it's probably the expanses of Eastfield Reserve has counted against them. As Mitcham, when they win the stoppages, they really get on their bike and run the length of the field to pierce a pass inside 50, where Templestowe, once they're under pressure, they've just easily coughed it up for the majority of this game. But it's been a better quarter, 3 goals apiece for this term, and now Templestowe have a chance to go inside 50. Numbers might suit the Tigers, and running back with the flight of it is Petrarca. He tackles and dodges out of one, ducks his head, but he runs away from all tacklers now. Gets it over to Purcell, who wheels onto his right, and the switch has happened, and they're going to run from defence to go forward. 1 bounce, 2 bounces, and now Johnson has to kicks towards Pim, just drops it when he was in back position, hands it over to Andretta, 50 metres out, he gets a piercing pass, just under the feet of his intended in Whitnish. So now it's 40 metres out, Templestowe on a heap of pressure, and normally it turns into a goal for Mitcham, but this time their enthusiasm has gone into a too high tackle, and Templestowe will have the relief of a free kick.
Around the grounds, thanks to the local burger company in the semi-final out at Walker Park. It is only a 9-point margin in the final term, with a couple of quick goals to Forest Hill to get them right back into the contest. We'll keep you right up to date with those.
Aren't they just a sneaky chance?
So the ball's back in the middle of the ground, and it's been contested, and now stoppage will ensure as the umpire will ball it up out of side, Eastfield Reserve. Just forward of the centre for Mitcham, but it's Stavropoulos. Got it. He kicks an up and under, but again it's ground level Tigers, but they overrun it. It allows the opposition to come in, so Templestowe through Bain kicks it around the corner. That's been smothered, but it falls back into the Dockers' hands. Prestigiacomo and nearly a head-on with Purcell, but Purcell, what a bull!
Don't argue.
A bulldozer, just runs through everyone.
Just like Dustin Martin there.
He pushed off and kicked it to half forward, and the pressure of the tackling of Mitcham wraps it up in a 3/4 time on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. It's Mitcham 13-15, 93, Templestowe 8-6-54, 39-point lead for Mitcham.
Tom Harley kicks his 7th goal to steady it for Park Orchards. They lead by 15 points. 9 minutes gone in the final term out at Walker Park. Out here, though, it is a 39-point lead to Mitcham at three-quarter time. They are playing some super football. The major goal kickers on the ground. They're 3 each to Chris Ogle and Anthony Faulkner. For Templestowe, well, Simon Grasser, Matty Stevens and Adam Prestigiacomo have 2 goals. Does Templestowe still have a life in this game? We'll find out just after this break on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
If I'm going to have a plumber come to my place, I want one that cares. So I use local H2 Pro Plumbing. They communicate, arrive on time, respect me in my home, and execute with excellence. And they support Who Gives a Crap, toilet paper that builds toilets and saves lives. Sign up at h2pro.com.au for 10% off every plumbing job for life. H2 Pro Plumbing, my local plumber who really cares. 9844 1444.
If you plan to be cremated when you die, where would you like your ashes scattered?
Sorrento Beach at sunset.
The famed Flemington Strike. Just leave me on the mantelpiece facing the telescope and watch the Mighty Hawks.
The glove box of my 1951 FX Holden.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, you can celebrate your life in any way you wish. What you want done with your ashes, music to be played, donations to charity. Those and other wishes can all be set out in a fixed price funeral plan. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
Are you feeling like your man space needs something special? Club rooms need a little something behind the bar? Just want to spoil yourself and show off to your mates? Authentic Autographs is Australia's largest licensed and authentic memorabilia dealer across all sports. With a range second to none, Authentic Autographs is a one-stop shop for all your memorabilia needs. If there's an empty space on your pool room wall or you feel your man cave needs something special, contact David on 0439 743 710 or visit the showroom at 11 to 15 Westwood Drive, Deer Park.
What a day of Eastern Football League football we have for you. It's Dyson Baker back in the studios of 98.1 Radio Eastern, and it seems pretty comprehensive out at Eastfield Reserve in the Division 3 Tuesday qualifying final. It's currently Mitcham 13-15 and 93 in our radio game, leading Templestowe 8-6-54. Still a bit of life left in the Dockers, we hope, in the final term. There's certainly some life left in Forest Hill. At three-quarter time, they trailed by 21 points. They kicked the first 2, and then Tom Harley replied with goal number 7 for the afternoon. And then Kane Magames has kicked his 4th for the afternoon to bring it back to a 9-point ball game. That's about midway through the final term. That game's a little bit ahead of our radio game. We'll make sure we keep you up to date with all those latest scores thanks to the local Burger Co. The final scores in Brisbane, it was Fremantle 15-16-106 defeating Brisbane 6-12-48, and Sydney 8-3-51 at 10 minutes into the second quarter, well and truly comfortably over the Western Bulldogs at the moment. But still plenty of footy to be played out on this EFL Game Day Sunday. We'll throw back to the boys at East Beld right after this.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Yes, welcome back to East Bellwood Reserve Ram Stadium for the Division 3 Tuesday qualifying final between the Mitcham Football Club and the Templestowe Football Club. A little bit of a lacklustre first 3 quarters, it must be said. Andy Paolacci, 13-15 at 93 Mitcham, leading Templestowe by 39 points at the last change, 8-6-54. Are they any chance, the boys in purple, at all?
Yes, of course they are, because any team on their day, if they have a good quarter, can obviously kick 8 goals, let's say, and win a game. Look, it's unlikely that'll happen, but what I thought Templestowe did really well, and we were talking about this off air, is they actually their ability to slow the game down actually allowed them to sort of fight a nil or draw out there in the end in that quarter. But unfortunately for them, they're going to have to play at breakneck speed to reel in this margin. So it sort of goes against their style of play that frustrated Mitcham in that third quarter.
Grant Campbell, thanks to Tuesday for some stats that matter.
Templestowe much better on the stat sheet in the third quarter. They won the clearances 14-12, the contested possessions 38-34. They did lose the inside 50s though, 14-10, and the damage was done early because Mitcham had 7 marks inside 50-2. And for the match overall, that's now 19-9. So Mitcham taking a lot of marks inside 50 today.
The point I was just making at you off air, Andy, was that the slower the game got towards the back end of the third quarter, the better the Templestowe Football Club looked. I think the reason why they've been able to win so many games this year is with that defensive effort, and they're a team that's going to kick 9-10 goals a game and still win by 6 or 7 goals. They play that style that doesn't allow them to score them quickly, but allows them to choke the opposition. I mean, this is a situation now where they need to find something and they need to be able to score quickly. It's that simple.
I mean, choking the opposition forward line is great. And Mitcham, the problem is their potency in their forward line is so good. But what really is happening is the Templestowe midfielders, they're not running defensively, and it's just making it way too easy for the Mitcham forwards to get on top, and that's why we've seen Templestowe leak a big margin today.
And full credit to the Tigers, of course. We've still got a quarter to play. They've kicked 13 goals. It's the first time for the season that the Dockers have conceded more than 12 goals. So we've still got a quarter to play, and that could certainly get a little bit bigger.
Absolutely. And look, 28 scoring shots in 3 quarters. It's a super effort by the Tigers. So, look, they put their hands up to be real premiership contenders just from this game.
Absolutely right. They've had a fantastic season.
Templestowe just milking it for all it's worth out on the field at the moment, being given the hurry up from the umpires. Mitcham are already in position, ready to play.
So which grounds do they play next week in terms, say if the result stays it is? The Saturday game is
Boronia versus the loser, which looks like Templestowe out at Ringwood, and then the Sunday game will be what looks like Mitcham and Wanturna South out here at Ram Stadium.
So the big grounds that they have to face Templestowe, it doesn't really suit their style, does it?
Oh, look, they play at Templestowe Reserve at Porter Street there, which is actually probably one of the bigger grounds in Division 3. So I don't think it's the ground size that's got him into trouble today. I think it's just the way they're using it and the way the game's being played out. I mean, you can have a big ground and still lock the game down and play on your terms. I mean, if that's going to be a problem for them, then God help them next week at Jubilee Park, because that doesn't get any smaller.
Let's cross down boundary side. Thanks to Lifecare, and hear what happened at both the three-quarter time huddles. Alysia.
Well, at Templestowe, Raquel was saying that in the third quarter they finally matched Mitcham's intensity. They got 3 goals apiece. But in this fourth quarter, they want to overtake them and play the game out with dignity, kind of, because the first half they really fell asleep. Well, that's what he said. And they just want to finish it off on a high note.
And Scotty Homewood, boys, he said he wanted to win this quarter. He wants to get back to one-on-one, because when they're playing one-on-one football, they will beat them every time. They got away from that a little bit in that third quarter.
Third term about to get a final term, just about to get underway. Can Templestowe get back into this clash? It's a 39-point lead to the Mitcham Tigers. Gav Tacey to take us away with the final term.
Interesting to note that Prestigia Como will do the rucking for Templestowe. They've got Ryan Bain in the middle as well, as the umpire holds the ball aloft for this fourth term in this qualifying final. It's a 39-point lead to Mitcham. The tap's one down, but it goes back to Bain. The back of the square, got the hand pass up, Van Kuchov. Now he goes inside 50, the bounce of the ball. Players run at it. The defence has to scurry for Mitcham. An opportunity for the Stavropoulos, gets it, kicks it on its way, misses to the left.
Around the grounds, thanks to the local burger company, Forest Hill got back to within a point just only moments ago, but a steadying goal from Park Orchard sees the lead back out to 7 points. 16 minutes gone, final term.
Nail biter.
Plenty of time.
Frosty Baird might have to just step right back up again. He did it a couple of years ago. We'll keep him up to date with that one as the ball's been brought back in. Mark's been taken by Aaron Miller across the half-back line for Mitcham. Short passes on, spots up Cam Taylor. He'll take off now. He does so. Kicks it up towards the half-forward line where he's looking for Marrow, who had to fly from the back. He created the spoil. Faulkner came in, who's been pretty quiet in this second half. Laid a nice tackle on Joel DeCarlo. The ball spills free. Still a hot football. Mariani picked it up. Got the little handball away to Van Kerkhoff. Got it backwards. That was okay. Swinging around Stavropoulos on the left boot up towards the half-forward line. Scrambly looking kick. Bain's going to have to go after it. The Tigers have got the numbers, though, at the back there. Purcell lost it. He probably should have picked it up. Mariani of the Anthony variety. Can he put one through for Templestowe? He pushed it to the right-hand side. Minor score is the result, but they've got the first score on the board in the final term. Something they have failed to do in each of the other 3 quarters. Bendigo Bank scoreboard at the 2.5-minute mark of this final term. It is Tempe 8-8-56, trailing Mitcham 13-15-93.
Daniel Johnson gets a spearing pass to Miller at centre back, and they've been doing that well, the kick-outs, in comparison to Templestowe. He goes out wide, looking for a searching lead, taken out before he could go for the mark. Hogle will get the free kick on the outer side. So that was, at least it slowed down the play for Templestowe's purposes. because Hogle would have marked and run on. Gives it to his brother. Another dinky pass over, sets his teammates up. Templestowe are doing a lot of defending now, and the tackle comes in.
Forest Hill have got the quick answer back. It's back to a 1-point ball game out at Walker Park, thanks to the local burger company.
55 metres around from Mitcham's goals. The tap's clearly one down, but a kick out in the full will turn it over, and Templestowe, they started to get their mojo back from their tackling around the stoppages, but it's all too late, isn't it?
Yeah, it's likely to be all too late, but as mentioned, they're matching the intensity now. That's obviously what Rick Irwin said, and look, they give themselves a chance, but they've got to get the score on the board, and it has to be now.
So Templestowe, the run goes on. Don't know where that kick was going because they had two players screaming for it, Templestowe, and the ball goes over the boundary line out of bounds right in front of us, seen over by a Joshy Bell.
Should have been chipped over to Cheppy there.
Certainly was, and he was filthy about it too, and rightfully so, because they had the space to work with. As the umpire throws the ball back in now, over the back there, we'll give that one to Presti Soupy as it came down towards Matt Mariani. On the right boot, kicks it up towards the half-forward line. It was a good kick. He needed to get in front, though. Worked his way to the front spot there. Eventually was Fiorenza, handball over the top. He was looking for Wadsworth. The kick it bounces inside forward 50 towards the Grasser direction. He was out-muscled there by Johnson, who did brilliantly. Paddled it to his advantage. He might just rush it through for a behind, and the safety of it was very smart, as you heard Andy saying. Over 4-1 behind. That's their 9th on the board on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 8-9-57, trailing Mitcham 13-15-93.
So we've seen 3 inside 50s for Templestowe, and it's been for 3 behinds, and this is where it needs to change if they give themselves any chance to win this game.
So Mitcham working it deep in their own defence, but they're quite comfortable hitting up targets. Beltrade's got it, and off half-back takes one bounce. He gets tackled as he kicks, so that rushes it. Now the turnover mark's been taken.
In the middle.
Cheppy's got it inside. It, well, held up a little bit, so it was almost dangerous, but Lipari makes it good, goes in the centre corridor. This is all very dangerous.
Taking risks now.
Yeah, but they need to take risks for maximum reward. It's in the hands of Comedian. And his kick goes out to left side. They've been held up just because Tigers got the numbers back as Bain puts it over to Wilson. Wilson just dinks a little kick into the forward line. The bouncing ball doesn't suit his teammate at all, and it's out of bounds. 40 metres around from Templestowe's goal. They just lack that penetrating kick inside 50.
Why not go to a one-on-one at the top of the goal square?
Skipper Tom Fair for Park Orchard slots through his first to get the lead back out to 8 points for the Park Orchards Football Club. What a ripper game it is out at Walker Park in the semi-final today.
Seems like it's goal for goal. We need a goal here, mainly Templestowe for a contest reason, but they're going to break from half-back to the open cross in the middle, one bounce over the top, hand pass. Here comes a goal for Hogle, 40 metres out, time to spare. It's a goal number 4, and game over. Mitcham 14-15-99, 42-point lead. Templestowe 8-9-57.
Well, it's Boltrawaite who gets off the chain there. Like acres of space, and again, it's that defensive running that just hasn't been there for Templestowe. And look, that slingshot counter-attacking football, it's so brilliant to watch. Mitcham are full running, and look, they're playing like winners today.
Seymour?
I've got nothing to say.
That's dejection there, folks.
It's a shame for Templestowe because they had the momentum in the first 5 minutes there and just couldn't put a goal on the board, and they've been counterpunched.
So the ball back in the middle now. Prestigia Como's handball went into no man's land. Andretta got it away to cross, and here they go. Sorry, it is him from outside 50. Sets sail for goal. Whitnish is there at the back and knocked away nicely there by Stevens towards the boundary line. Faulkner keeps the ball in though. Got it to Hogle. He had time. He kept it low and he snagged it. That's an absolute cracker. That's goal number 5 for Hogle. Magnificent play. The umpires are conferring.
The brains trust
off the boot. No, it might go back. He's given the all clear, and it is goal number 5 to Hogle. Fantastic. Listen to the crowd get behind him, Chris. Fantastic bit of play there by Mitcham. They got the clearance, they got the forward pressure, and they kept it alive, and now they're just kicking sneaky goals.
Goal review. Confirm. How does it go? Confirm goal.
That's a good finish. That's two super finishes in a row, and that'll be almost probably the only 2 times that Mitcham have gone inside 50 for the quarter. I mean, Templestowe had the first 5 minutes of it. When you're 7 goals down anyway, it all becomes pretty inconsequential.
If you've got an issue, use a tissue. Seymour, as the ball's back in the middle of the ground.
Live to fight another day, BWS.
But the important part is 2 inside 50s in the last minute, and probably for the quarter, have turned into goals. They just stream in. It's an open ball game for them.
Yep.
So a push in the back will give Mitcham another chance. And we just see how deadly, because they pick out the right option. A short's on. Searle's got open space at 50, but doesn't look like he's been assessed as an option. So the long kick might come in. No, short finally comes, and it will be a mark inside 50. The kick was well weighted to the boundary side, and it's in the hands of Petrarca. Julian Petrarca's he had a slow start to the game, but he's been amassing kicks as the game gets longer.
That sums up their day, Templestowe. The ball was at half forward for like 30 seconds. Plenty of time to filter back and fill all the holes inside the forward 50. Weren't able to do it.
Left foot of Julian Petrarca, 45 metres out. He just keeps it to the left.
Just lean back on it.
And that is another minor score, 15-16, 106. Templestowe 8-9, 57. That is a 49-point lead on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
I've got to say, Seam, I actually think Templestowe actually defended that as best as they could. I thought they covered the space really well, and it was literally that kick had to be inch perfect.
And it was.
Yeah, for it to be marked, and it was.
So the kick in, well, it wasn't going for where it was supposed to, but it's going to end up all right in the end. Vankakov takes the mark inside the defensive arc. 25-metre penalty. So the umpire just will bring the play back up here now. Players didn't hear the call, but they were off to Templestowe, so they'll be a little bit upset about that, you would think. But
and the good thing about Templestowe, they've started to use the wings of this ground. They've been willing to kick laterally, and it's been working for them.
The man on the mark didn't come back, so it's free 25-metre penalty.
23 minutes gone. Park Orchards by 8 points out at Walker Park as the kick now goes up towards the half-forward line where Grasser sees it over the boundary line with Johnson. There's 4 minutes left out at the Division 4 semi-final today. Pye to bring the ball back in across the half-forward line for Templestowe. Pye's pulled out a free kick here. It will go the way of the Dockers in the ruck contest. So it'll go to the big man in Simon Harris. Just waiting for the ball to be returned to him.